Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
It's Monday. Sports Hounds are live in the BMW Atlantic City studios. Rob Brinkman, Brad Ryer, Frank Vesby producing the show. Training camps are started. Football is right around the corner. I think we have a little over a week until the Hall of Fame game. The ceremony. Yeah, it's right here.
That's right.
The fifth preseason game, but I'm sure those teams are really, really excited about. Hope everyone picked up the sarcasm in my voice. Got football to start. Phillies are in Boston for a two-game set right now. They're up 1-0 right now. We're going to talk about trade deadline is Tuesday. A lot of stuff on my mind tonight. A lot of stuff really got to me over the weekend. Really pushed my buttons in the world of sports. We're going to get into all of it.
And me.
You got on my nerves this weekend? You didn't get on my nerves this weekend.
No. A couple of things bothered me.
I know. I saw your Facebook feed. We're going to get into all of it in the 2 hours we have. 2 hours might not even be enough. Agree to Disagree is on after us. Is that correct, Frank? A special Monday edition?
That is correct, sir.
All right, look at that. Be the warm-up guy. We'll steal the show.
There we go.
There you go.
Warm them up. A2D After Dark, 11 o'clock. It's going to be a very fun Monday night. Something we haven't done in a long time. Having Agree to Disagree on a Monday. It's been
all right.
forever.
The chat's already popping off.
There we go.
Scanzano Sports poll question of the night. Should Carson Wentz play week 1? Now, my answer is I don't understand why Philly fans are so soft since winning the Super Bowl. We've been on every Monday since November of last year. Everyone spouted their mouth, City of Champions this, City of Champions that, and now everyone's scared to trade for Kawhi Leonard. Everyone is scared to give up the prospects necessary to get Manny Machado. And now everyone is scared to see Carson Wentz play Thursday, September 6th in Week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. It makes no sense to me. If you want to say you're the City of Champions, then you have to back it up with your mentality and actions. And this narrative that if Carson Wentz is medically cleared, his knee feels fine, it's not swollen or sore, and you just want to put him on the PUP list or hold him out the first 2 weeks just to be safe is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
I agree with you 100%. If the man is medically cleared to play, that is your number one quarterback. I don't want to hear about Nick Foles. Nick Foles had a nice playoff, but let's be honest, okay? Carson Wentz is the quarterback. Carson Wentz is the future of this team, the face of the franchise, and he's going to be your quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. Okay? Nick Foles was real good last year. He proved he could drive the Cadillac. Okay? But I still want Carson Wentz out there if I'm an Eagle fan.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know what I mean, listen, I understand the mentality, but I mean, it's kind of like the Giants with Hostetler and Sims. Okay? When Sims got hurt, Hostetler came in and took the Giants to the championship. That doesn't mean that Hostetler should have been the quarterback. And the Giants made a big mistake the next year because of that moron Ray Handley. He went and made Hostetler the quarterback. And guess what? The Giants ended up being 8-8, and then they went to 4-12. And then when they brought in Reeves, Sims became the quarterback, and they immediately went 12-4 again and made the playoffs that year. So I mean, bottom line is, your franchise quarterback is your franchise quarterback. Your backup quarterback is your backup quarterback. Foles did a great job, and good for him. But you know what? If you want to go into a season and have him as your starting quarterback, that's just ridiculous.
And look, I'm all for being safe and conservative. Carson Wentz is the future of this franchise. He's the best young quarterback in the league. Is that
If he's medically,
Is that fair?
Yeah, if he's medically cleared.
That's what I'm saying.
Play,
if he goes out in practice and
play
his knee
him.
swells up or it's sore or whatever, and then you have to hold him out of regular season action, totally fine with that. Be
Yeah,
cautious
of
Nick
course.
Foles can, throw the ball 20 times,
Nick
hand the
Foles-
ball off 20
Nick
times,
Foles-
and fill in the gaps.
Nick
and
Foles will not hurt the Eagles, but
look,
but
and fortunately for the Eagles, I think they have two layups of their first 3 games are complete layups, even with Nick Foles in there potentially over. You got Atlanta at home week 1. That's a hard game.
yeah, that's a tough.
Tampa Bay without Jameis Winston in
That's
week
a
2,
win.
and the Colts at home, which Andrew Luck is playing for now, but the Colts, they stink.
doesn't matter.
They have nobody.
It doesn't matter if Andrew Luck is playing or not.
So that's 2 of the first 3. But if Carson Wentz is medically cleared, you put him in there. A lot of people seem to disagree.
Absolutely.
A lot of people seem to disagree. And I don't understand why everyone's so scared in Philadelphia these days. Frank, how do you go from the city of champions shouting from the mountaintops to, I can't trade Sixto Sanchez for Manny Machado? No way there. Kawhi Leonard, he doesn't complete the process. He doesn't put you in the NBA Finals next year. No way.
I think it's just
Can't
the big,
have him.
I think
Bad
it's just the
character.
giant fear of what happens if he re-injures his leg. I think it just comes out of fear. But to answer your poll question, I think if he is medically cleared, if he is doing the 11-on-11 drills, if he's taking full contact, trying to test out the knee, if he's medically cleared to play, then yeah, you should start him week 1. But I think during all preseason, I think they should just take it easy, see how he does, and
I don't need to see him. I don't
Right.
need to see him play
maybe take a
zero snaps.
Maybe do
in
one
preseason.
series in preseason, but other than that, I mean, if he's ready, he's ready.
Yeah, I don't
If
need.
he's not medically cleared, I would
Right.
not have
It's
him
like when the
playing
Mike
in
Trouts of the world.
Preseason. I would not have him out there for preseason game unless he's medically cleared to play.
Yeah.
It's like when like the Mike Trouts of the world get hurt and they send him to the minor leagues for a week to get ready. Does that really help? Does that really help a guy like Mike Trout? Does he really need, or a Clayton Kershaw, or
Right.
any of these guys? Like, it's just a waste. It's just a waste of time.
Well, they
Superstars
may
like that
they
don't
may
need rehab
they may-
assignments.
They may need
They don't need to be
a game or
babied.
two. They may need a game or two just to get their swing back.
But players that good, they're just gonna. It's like riding a bike. Yeah, your first at bat, you might strike out or ground out to the shortstop,
Well, your
but
first game, you might have a lousy first game.
a 50% Carson Wentz gives you a better chance to win than a 100% Nick Foles.
Agreed.
He's just that good. All right,
But I mean, I just think you just want to make sure that you
just.
you want to.
It's just like and everyone says, "Oh, the Eagles are the next dynasty." This, that, and the other. Well, if you want to be a dynasty, you got to think like a winner. Sitting Carson Wentz just to be safe to start the season is not thinking like a winner.
No,
It's just not.
Do you think the Packers are going to sit Aaron Rodgers?
No, he might get tackled again weird and break his collarbone again.
No, they're not
Yeah.
going to do that.
And Jerome Brown died in a car crash in the early 90s and completely ruined the Eagles' chance at any type of championship. No one knew that was going to happen. Like,
No.
you never know.
No, but I mean, look. If he's, as I said, if he's medically cleared, you put him out there. If he's not medically cleared, then he needs to take a
And
seat.
you wait, because you go 2-1 at worst if Foles is in their first 3 games.
I agree.
Maybe you lose to Atlanta. Maybe you go 3-0.
That could happen too. I mean,
I don't see them going. I don't see them going 1-2 in their first
No.
3 games
There's
with
no
Nick
way.
Foles in there.
No.
The bottom line here is, but it doesn't matter if he's ready to go, if he's healthy and ready to go, then you play him. If he's not healthy and he's not ready to go,
But
then
I'm
don't
just-
play him. But you can't go by whether he's dancing at his wedding or if he's running around. It's all you have to go by whatever the doctors say. If his knee is completely healed, then you let him play. If it's not completely healed, then you wait till it's completely healed. You have the luxury of doing that, but if it's healed, there's no reason not to put him out there. He's a better player than Nick Foles.
Vicente
is.
Quintano. No, it's too early. Why risk injury to win? You risk injury to win. If something goes wrong in the first 3 games and other people get injured or they come out flat or whatever happens, the NFL is the most unpredictable professional sport out
yeah.
there.
Absolutely.
So you have to have your best guys in there. If you start 1-2, that could be the difference between getting a bye in the first round, winning the division, having to play 3 games instead of just 2 to get to the Super Bowl. So that's why I risk it, to win early and pile up wins, and then maybe down the stretch, then you rest Carson Wentz's knee.
If it needs to be rested.
Yeah.
If it needs to be rested. What's up, Tom? Tom's checking in. Kyle Meager, great question. No. What a shock there.
Guys, David Rosca, I'm watching SummerSlam 1991.
Cool.
Really?
Awesome.
That must be pretty cool.
Raymond Stephen Bibbo, another no.
A big no to do that. So
Kyle Meager, he's on and off in practice. Don't rush him. Marlene, no. Do we have one yes? We have one rest. The fan base has gone soft. It's gone soft. Where's the killer instinct? Where's the city of champions mentality that we had just 3-4 months ago? It's gone. It's gone. Unbelievable. Should have given up the prospects for Machado. Didn't want Kawhi at all. He isn't a champion. Kawhi is soft. Well, Kawhi Leonard is a champion. He's been the Finals MVP before. They beat the Heat, super team in the finals. So Kawhi Leonard is a champion. James Wilder, A2D north of the border. Is just
Canada's
I don't
own.
know. Wentz is number 1. The doctors say he's good. He's good. Okay, so there's one yes from James.
Yeah.
One yes. Yeah, he's the future, so why would you make sense? The future's now, Kyle. Kyle Meager, yes, the future, so why would you rush him? Makes a ton of sense. We have Foles. Still, Wentz needs the first 3 weeks.
If he needs the 3
If he needs the 3 weeks.
If
He doesn't need the 3 weeks.
If he needs the 3 weeks, if Carson feels like, let's use a hypothetical. Let's say Carson Wentz is fully healthy going into week 1. I think that decision should be up to him. Should he start under center? I think it should go under Carson's own decision. It should be Carson's decision whether he wants to start. If he feels
his decision's going to be
his decision's going to be yes.
Right. If he feels he's ready, if his knee is ready to take heavy contact, especially in a week 1 game where a lot of those Atlanta players are going to go after his knee. They're going to target the legs. So if Carson feels comfortable, ready to take those snaps going into week 1, then yeah, I think it should be Carson's
There's
decision.
so many rules and fines out there hitting a quarterback.
Every week they're going to go after him.
Yeah, every week.
That's football.
They were gonna go after him every week.
Right.
Regardless if his knee was injured or not. The Eagles are the champs.
Do you not think that they're going to go after Odell Beckham this year?
Those dog masks, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're not the underdogs
The
anymore.
underdog mentality
They
is
got
gone.
a big target right in the middle of their forehead this year. And you need all hands on deck from September until hopefully February again.
Exactly.
So this being scared, he might get hurt again. I don't want to risk it. Stop. Stop being scared. Stop being soft. If you want to be considered the city of champions, start thinking like champions.
TT Ballin, A2D is on tonight. Yes, it is.
It is.
It is.
It is.
A doubleheader.
The doubleheader.
You got a doubleheader.
Game 2 of the doubleheader will start at 11 o'clock. Well, at least approximately 11 o'clock.
Approximately 30 minutes after the last pitch of our show.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Some baseball humor there.
There
Games
we go.
1 through 4 aren't tough, Kyle Meager. You don't know that in August. I tend to agree with you. On paper, it looks like that right now.
It does.
It's not
Who's
even
game
August.
4? Who's game 4 for the Eagles?
Game 4 is at Tennessee.
Yeah, it's at
That's
Tennessee.
a tough game.
I have that as a loss,
That's
even
a tough
with
game. That could
healthy
be-
Carson Wentz.
they-
The Titans
they might
they're
be-
they're my bust out team in
They
the
could be.
AFC.
They could easily be 2-2 after those first 4 weeks.
I think we went down the schedule last week.
Yeah.
I had them
They
2-2.
could be. They could be.
I mean, as the season gets closer, I bet some of
We'll
those
see.
decisions will change. I know a couple
we'll
weeks
see.
away.
I mean,
We're still a couple weeks away from kickoff.
But,
of game 1. So anything can happen.
But how many fan bases out there saw the Eagles at this time last year and said, "Oh, young quarterback, rookie head coach, that's an easy win." Probably a couple.
Probably a couple.
I don't know if anybody ever considered the Eagles an easy win.
Well, they didn't.
Nobody thought that
absolutely nobody saw them scoring 50 points a week and blowing everybody out
Yeah.
between
No,
weeks
nobody
2
expected
through
that.
I agree with you. There.
11 or whatever. from weeks, whatever, start of the
But
season until
they were-
Carson Wentz got hurt in
They
December.
and they were underdogs against the Redskins. Were they not in Week 1 last year?
I believe so.
I think they were. They were on the road, and it was a division game, so
I believe they were like 1.5-point underdogs. I believe.
Yeah, I think it was 13
But
to
like
nothing.
nobody
before,
expected.
It was 13-0 before you finished your salad.
Yeah, nobody expected like last year that a team would start the season. What was it?
and then week
10
two, and then
10-1. I believe.
Right,
9-1,
week 2.
10-1.
Week 2 last year was at Kansas City, where Doug
Right.
ran the ball 90% of the time, and everybody wanted him fired.
Well, yeah, but they
Besides-
held.
besides
but,
me
but
and
they
Brad.
could compete with Kansas City, and that, in my opinion, the Kansas City game really showed to me that this team was going to be special this season. Just that game alone, how they hung in there until the last play. They didn't give up. They made the plays that they needed. Yeah, they ran the ball too much, but there was something special at that game, especially in a tough environment like Kansas City. They proved to me
Okay,
that
we have
they
a
were going to
question.
do some magic.
We have a question from TT Bull, and he wants to know what he thought was the most surprising win of the season last year. And he thinks it's the Broncos blowout.
I
don't
thought
think
it was
the Broncos blowout was not a surprise. After the Giants beat up the Broncos, it didn't surprise me one bit that the Eagles beat up the Broncos. The Broncos were terrible last year.
people may rip me, but my most surprising win was division weekend when they beat Atlanta 15-10.
To me, the most surprising one.
I was
when
very
they beat-
surprised they won that
when
game.
they beat the Cowboys the first time they played them 37-9.
Well, when Dallas rolled over on Sunday Night Football.
Yes, that
was so
I
great.
Was surprised. I was surprised. I mean,
That was a
listen,
great win.
and I hate Dallas, but I mean, I'm surprised. I was shocked at the way they played that game, at their performance that game.
And
They were
especially-
losing at halftime.
Yeah,
if
they
I
were losing at
remember- Memory
halftime.
serves me correct.
Jake Elliott got hurt, and then you rely on a special teams linebacker to do kickoffs, which surprisingly he did amazing
Yeah.
on. So
They blew. I mean, they
Yeah.
blew him off the field. They
Yeah.
blew him off the field. The only,
Yeah.
really, the
And
only game,
especially in Jerry
the only
World.
game last year, really, that the Eagles played poorly was the Seattle game.
Oh,
Other
yeah.
than that, I thought all the other games they played very well.
yeah,
Kyle Meagher, NFL players will target his knee. I wouldn't start him week 1 regard. I mean, Atlanta's coming home for revenge.
yeah.
Okay. They can try and take it. I don't think Atlanta's as good a team as the Eagles.
Every
Yeah.
team is going to be taking shots at Carson Wentz.
They'll
if
be
they
aiming.
can.
Carson will
The
probably have a
Eagles,
giant
Doug
target.
Peterson,
Every-
they're at the
listen.
top of the mountain.
Listen, they will. Everybody's going to be taking shots. Listen, if you have a star, that's part of it. That's part of it. Everybody's going to be taking shots at them. You don't think the guys are going to be taking shots at Saquon Barkley? Absolutely. Beckham, they're going to take shots at him. They're going to take shots at Ezekiel Elliott. Okay, that's the NFL, and you know what? Everybody's got to deal with it and get real and understand that that's how the game's played. They're going to take shots at Aaron Rodgers too. Okay, so get used to it, guys. For all you guys who had players last year who you love, who were hurt, understand, okay? If they're stars, they're going to get hit. David Johnson's going to get hit too.
Okay,
Trust me, if
well,
you're a
let me
Cardinals
ask you
fan, He's
something.
going to take his licks too.
Do you think Green Bay Packers fans are like, whoa, maybe we should hold Aaron Rodgers out the first 3 games of the season
Of course,
in case he gets hurt? No, because it's
because Aaron Rodgers
stupid.
is great. Yeah. Do you think they're good?
And the Packers, I don't get
do you
it.
think
I
do you
don't-
think the Patriots are going to keep Tom Brady off the field the first 3 games in
No,
case he gets
might
hurt?
get hurt. Might get hurt.
come
Can't
on.
do it.
Russell Wilson, you think he's going to miss the first 3 games?
Russell Wilson might be out for the season sooner rather than later. That franchise is a
Yeah.
Well, their
freaking
offensive
mess.
line is a problem. But I mean,
Deion Brown
Yeah.
checks in. There is going to be some rust without a doubt. He can't get hit in practice, so I'm looking for early in-game jitters. That's fine. That's fair from Deion.
Right.
That's fine. But let's have him play a couple series against Atlanta on Thursday, September 6th. Get those jitters out of there,
Yeah.
and then the next 4 months,
as
And
long,
then-
hopefully
and then
5
if
months,
Carson
as long
doesn't
as
feel
he's
like-
medically cleared to
Yeah.
play, you play him.
And if Carson doesn't want to risk getting hurt, then yeah, you could put in Nick Foles. But
Kyle
it's-
Meagher, the disrespect for Foles is real. I'm out of here. Great show, by the way. I really enjoyed it. Well, thanks, Kyle. The disrespect. Nobody has disrespect.
We're not disrespecting
Nobody's disrespecting.
Nobody's
Richard
disrespecting Nick Foles.
He's their backup quarterback.
But
Right.
that's what he
what do
is.
you
He's a
guys-
backup.
He is their He is the Eagles' backup quarterback.
And Nick knows that
Nick knows
it's
that,
Carson's
too.
team. He knows it's
Deep
Carson's
down,
team.
Nick Foles knows he's not a starting
Right.
quarterback for 16 games in this league. He got his chance. He seized his opportunity. He caught lightning in a bottle with a great supporting cast and was able to win a Super Bowl. Fantastic.
He was absolutely
He was incredible.
brilliant last year.
He
Yeah.
outdueled Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. What? Only Eli Manning can say that?
Yeah.
That's right. I mean,
So Eli Manning and Nick Foles are the only two quarterbacks to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
that's right.
So
I mean,
I don't understand who's disrespecting Nick Foles or where that narrative
nobody's
comes
disrespecting
from
Nick Foles.
out of left field.
The
Nick
Carson
Foles
Wentz
is a backup quarterback.
He's the
When you were in Hawaii, me and Brodo did the show, and we went through the whole league.
Oh,
And I
remember
think
this.
we ranked Nick Foles like 23rd out of 32 starting quarterbacks, which I thought was a fair ranking.
Yeah.
Like
I actually do remember that show. I was producing
not-
that one. Yeah.
He was clutch last year. He did a great job.
he's not better than Derek Carr. He's not better than like
Well,
Jared
we can
Goff,
Go up and down. We can go
Andrew
up and down
Luck,
the list.
Jimmy Garoppolo,
You can go
Cam
up and down.
Newton.
You can go up and down the list. There's a lot of guys that he's not better than. But again, that doesn't mean that he's not a good, solid, serviceable backup quarterback.
And thank God he is, or else the Eagles wouldn't have a Super Bowl ring.
Exactly. He
And
did a great. He did
didn't
a great
play
job.
flawless in every game last year, either. Nick Foles.
Right.
He had a clunker on Christmas Eve.
The
or
Christmas clunker. I mean,
Christmas
that was
clunker
Well, the
against
two-
the
the
Raiders.
two games.
that should be the name of that game. The Christmas clunker.
The two games he played at the end
I
of the
like
season,
that.
he wasn't very good. He really wasn't very good in the Atlanta game. He was fantastic in the Minnesota game.
They were pretty sloppy against the Giants
Yeah.
late in the season.
Well, their defense was more sloppy than anything else.
Just
to be
giving up a
honest
bunch of slant routes. That was.
with you. Yeah,
that was the
they
thing.
were the Eagles' defense was just very for
Yeah.
whatever reason. And don't forget, let's be honest, when the Giants play the Eagles, the Giants are you're always going to get the maximum effort out of the Giants. They're
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to. I mean, they're
Oh, especially in an
especially
Eagles-Giants game.
at home.
Especially in an Eagles-Giants game.
Yeah, I mean,
Throw
the
the
Giants
records
are-
out the window.
Yeah, the Giants are going to show up and play. They're not going to, especially at home. They're not going to.
Even though the
They're not going
Eagles,
to not show up. Even
they
though the
do-
Eagles are better, it doesn't matter. They're still going to.
Oh,
The Giants are going to come out and play hard and try to win the game. I mean, you couldn't expect.
I mean, the
anything
Eagles,
less.
they kind of kick the Giants' ass every time they play them. Over the last,
The last couple of years they have been. Yeah, I would agree with you. I'd agree. When 2 years ago, when the Giants made the playoffs 2 years ago, the
Yeah.
Giants won. I think they split the series
We
that
did.
year, didn't
We
they?
did split. Yep.
That was a
Brett
split that
DiTomaso,
year.
yes, won't forget what Nick Foles did for the city, but he's no Carson Wentz. Well said.
Right.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to say.
Oh, we got a yes.
Yeah.
Greg Milikovic. Yes, absolutely throw him in there. Greg, congratulations. Thinking like a
job.
fucking winner. Absolutely love it.
That's good. At least somebody is agreeing with
James
us. there.
Wilder, great episode, guys. Keep it up. Going.
Hello, Ryan
Hope I'll
Brodo.
be back before it's over.
Good
Hi,
to see
Mr.
you with
Brodo.
us.
Brodo's in.
Brodo's
Brodo's
in.
in.
By the way, after 4
Is he okay? He's getting attacked by alligators on Facebook in North
alligators.
Carolina.
By the way,
Be
after,
careful, Brodo.
After four, it's still 1-0 Phillies.
That's great. Aaron Nola dealing.
Yeah.
Good job. Good
Other
job,
than that,
Phillies.
base running
Oh
blunder.
God! What happened? What happened to? We can't do. We can't have the thing on while the show's on.
It's on, but for some reason, like it's the stream time kind of
right,
skips
well,
out.
whatever.
I'll make some fixings because
All
it
right.
always does that on.
Brad, your New York fan base, they're getting a little uppity up there in New York.
They're just. out
They
of
think
control.
that they're going to go from 3-13 to possibly winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, I had
That's a narrative
had
coming
a-
out of New York.
I had a complete meltdown when I was listening to sports radio coming from New York on Friday on my way to the.
This was your
Yankee game.
biggest meltdown in a while, maybe ever. We've had some
And
pretty
I'm gonna
epic
be honest.
ones.
I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Hearing the Giant, and I'm not talking about the Giant fans as much as the Giant players, okay? Hearing these guys talk about what they have to do to get to the Super Bowl, and not only making the playoffs but getting to the Super Bowl, Are you guys freaking kidding me? You were 3-13 last year.
Maybe get
Your
the
defense,
500 first.
Your defense couldn't stop a high school team last year, okay? Your wide receivers, I know that they were injured, but that was a goddamn disgrace. And they're all coming back from injury. And you're sitting here telling me how great you're going to be?
I don't even think
Odell Beckham had a broken ankle. God damn, he had a broken ankle. Is he going to be that good? I don't know that he's going to be as good as he's been in the past. May take him a few weeks, okay? Sterling Shepard had missed half the season with his ankle injuries, okay? The offensive line, the right side of the offensive line, still stinks. It stinks.
I don't think
the left side is good, but the right side stinks. Okay? Your cornerbacks are still pretty good. Janoris Jenkins is okay. Apple's okay. But you have two. The rest of them stink. If one of those guys get hurt, we're dead.
Is DRC still on your team?
No, they're talking about bringing him back, by the way.
He's such a dirty, stinking mutt.
They're talking about possibly bringing him back. But
that guy stinks.
The bottom line is your secondary stinks. Landon Collins is going to be is a good safety, but you know what? The bottom line is they don't have a second safety. The defensive line, we'll see, but you traded JPP. Now, it's nice. I like the Connor Barwin signing. He'll be great when it's 3rd and 10.
He can play in a 3. He's 3-4. He's a 3-4 guy.
But he'll be good in the 3-4. But you know what? Right now, let's see. Tomlinson, Snacks, and
well, you guys also acquired Alec Ogletree as well.
Yeah, Alec Ogletree is a line. No, their linebackers are pretty good. You know what? Their defensive line is not bad, but are they going to get a pass rush this year? Are they going to get a fourth quarter pass rush? Or are these quarterbacks going to have all day to throw the ball in the fourth quarter? And with this secondary that you have, where you have two decent cornerbacks, they're going to get toasted. And you guys are talking about the Super Bowl? You were 3-13 last year.
Are they the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC East?
No, probably the Cowboys are.
I agree. I think the Cowboys are as well.
I will say this, okay? I think that the Giants will score some points this year.
They should. If they don't,
Saquon Barkley should be a very good running back. I mean, they already have him ranked 4. I don't know how you could possibly rank a guy who's never stepped on an NFL field, but they've already ranked him number 4 as far as fantasy. As far as fantasy running backs.
I mean,
that's
he's pretty good.
That's a pretty high ranking for a guy
that's going to catch the ball
on the field. Yeah, okay.
Which helps in fantasy.
Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, Evan Ingram looks like a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Okay, Odell, we'll see. I think Odell's going to be real good, but we got to see him back in the field again. We got to see that he can that his ankle, which he broke last year, we got to see if his ankle can put up with playing whole games. Okay, can he play a whole game? Can he play effectively in the fourth quarter? Is he fully recovered? Has he lost a step because of? We don't know that. And for you guys to be talking about winning playoff games in January and going to the Super Bowl, are you nuts?
They haven't won a playoff game since all those
Stop.
All those dopes took that picture on that yacht in the Caribbean during their bye week.
Well, they didn't win that yacht. Well, they lost the Green Bay game, but Green Bay was better than that.
Yacht photo.
But I mean, the bottom line is they haven't won a playoff game. They haven't won a playoff game since they won the Super Bowl against New England.
You want to know why? They don't think like winners. They don't have a winning mentality. They have bad culture. They're not winners.
The quarterback is a winner. I do believe that.
I do. He's getting a little long in the tooth, but I still think he's got 1 or 2 seasons left in the tank.
I think last year was kind of rough because all his receivers were injured.
They also had a complete
line.
dope as a head coach.
Yeah, they had a moron coach. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit here and completely blame the coach for their defense last year. Okay, their defense last year was supposed to be the strength of the team. Okay, it was supposed to be a playoff defense, possibly one of the top defenses in the league. Last year, they stunk. Okay, they couldn't stop anybody. Okay, the only games they stopped anybody was the Denver Broncos, who were a disgraceful offensive football team, the Washington Redskins, who showed up at the end of the season and basically, I don't know what they were doing in that last game, but you would have thought that you'd get a better effort than that. And the Kansas City Chiefs, because it was a windy day, and what's his name, the quarterback,
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, couldn't deal with the wind in the Meadowlands last year, and the Giants beat them 12-9. Okay, but look, thankfully the Giants have a real place kicker. Okay, because that place kicker they had last year, he just epitomized how much they sucked last year. But before you talk about the playoffs or the Super Bowl, how about going 8-8, guys? Because you know what? As far as I'm concerned, as a Giant fan, I'm expecting 8-8. Maybe if we get lucky, we could go 9-7. If the Lord is completely with us, maybe we can go 10-6. But this team could be anywhere from 6-10 to 10-6. And if you take a look at the beginning of the season and the first 6 weeks of the schedule, they could easily be 0-6. Scary. It's scary to look at that schedule. If they go 3-3 after their first 6 weeks, then they will get my respect, and then I'll start talking shit right along with them. Okay, but until I see 3-3, if I see 1-5 or 0-6, then I'm going to go right back to what I was saying before. Shut the hell up. Okay, don't say anything. Just say nothing. Go out there, shut up, and play. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. You weren't kidding about their first 6 games. You got the Jaguars at home.
That's a loss.
At Dallas, could go either way, division game. Houston's a good team.
Where are they playing Houston?
In Houston.
That's a loss.
Yeah.
They got the Saints at home.
The Giants are home.
Giants are home.
They'll win that game.
Then they have the Panthers on the road. The Eagles at home.
Oh,
the
great.
Falcons on the road. And then they got then it lets up a little bit.
Okay, so
that's 7 weeks, right?
Okay, so that could easily be
Jaguars, Cowboys, Texans, Saints, Panthers, Eagles, Falcons. That's 7 games.
Okay, so
pretty hard.
They could be 1-6.
It gets a little easier for them after that. Then they got the Skins, the Niners.
Then they get to play the crappy
Tampa Bay.
teams. Yeah, but
then the Eagles again, the Bears. So
the first 7 games this season will tell this tale. If
and I think Dallas is better than them. I know the it's always easy to kick the Dallas Cowboys in the teeth here in Philadelphia and New York. But if you look at it logically, 9-7 last year, Ezekiel Elliott missed 6 games.
And I think they were 1-5 in the games he didn't play.
Are you telling me adding Zeke Elliott to that offense isn't good for one more win to get to 10-6 and get in the playoffs?
Yeah, it is.
That's all I'm saying.
But keep in mind,
I think
Cowboys,
Dallas is going to be a wild card team this year. I have them as a playoff team.
The Cowboys also have just as tough a schedule as the Giants. Okay? They have the second place schedule, which means that they are not going to get off so easy either. Okay?
Deion Brown doesn't see the Cowboys being the Eagles' main threat. Clay Brown doesn't want Carson Wentz to start in week 1. He needs to heal all the way. Clayton added an exclamation point to his comment. Clayton, I don't understand.
Sixers JT.
I don't understand. You don't have to be scared, Clayton. You don't have to be scared. He's going to be medically cleared. He's going to be in there. If he's not medically cleared, you put him in there. Okay. You don't sit him when he's medically cleared.
We got some chatter here. Ryan Brodo thinks the Giants are the closest team in the division to the Eagles, but they're not close to the Eagles. I agree with that. As far as not close to the Eagles, I think Dallas is closer. Ryan Brodo feels the difference is world's closest and close. And I kind of don't agree. I just don't think the Giants are that good.
I mean, this is put up or shut up for Dak Prescott and Jason Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Sixers JT says
if Jason Garrett doesn't make the playoffs this year, how does he have a job?
I don't even know.
I don't know how he jobs. Him and Marvin Lewis. I don't know how they have jobs.
Well, I think Marvin Lewis has to make it pictures of the Bengals owner somewhere. Jason Garrett, I don't even know. I don't even know how this guy still has a job. It baffles me every single year with Jason Garrett.
Because Jerry Jones likes him because he listens to him all the time.
Of course.
He lets Jerry Jones run the team. That's why.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got on YouTube?
Okay, we've got a couple of things here. Sixers JT thinks that the Giants had an O-line. I'd be more worried. JT, the left side of their offensive line is very, very good. The right side is the problem. So they're going to have to run to the left side. My problem with that is that the other teams are going to know that, and they're going to load up on the left side and dare them to run to the right. So we'll see what happens there. Also, Eli has a ton of weapons. We agree. But the Giants' defense is a big, big, fat question mark. That's basically where you are right now with them. And the Redskins stink, so I wouldn't worry about the Redskins.
No, I'm not worried about that.
By the way, can we give an applause to the New York Jets for finally getting Sam Darnold into
Darnold's
camp?
in camp.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That was ridiculous.
I think
what are they putting in the contract that got Sam Darnold so
the
mad?
Bears. I don't understand how you can have a holdout. It's all slotted and predetermined.
Because the Jets had some fugazi crap in their contracts stating that if he got cut, that they wouldn't have to pay him any of that money.
But that's such bullshit. They traded up to take him third in the draft.
Exactly.
They're not going to cut him.
Why? I just don't understand the whole mentality. If you're worried about that, then why did you draft him?
It's true.
And you traded up. So the Jets they still,
It's
they
the
made
Jets.
they made some pretty good moves in the offseason. I mean, Crowell was a good pickup. Obviously, I think they did a very good job bringing in Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's going to be pretty good. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the quarterback this year, by the way. For
You
the
think
Jets.
he's going to start?
Yeah, I do. I do.
I really hope he gets his. I really hope he gets his chance.
I think he's going to start, and I think Sam is going to be on the bench. And what's his name?
McCown didn't play bad last year.
No,
though.
he didn't. He didn't. But I mean, Bridgewater's a lot more talented a quarterback than he is.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Jets plan on playing him at all until maybe week 14, 15, 16, right at the end. Problem is, the Jets' offensive line is awful. And to get these guys, if you get these guys out there with that offensive line, I don't think I want to put Sam out there with that offensive line. I think I'd rather have the other two guys out there. So that's why he's not going to be playing for a while.
All right, so let's move on to baseball. Mike Parker, Lance Lynn traded to the Yankees tonight. Tyler Austin and a pitching prospect I've never heard of go to the Twins. Mike Parker, way to bolster that rotation with the laughing emoji. Kyle Meager, Yankees are getting pitchers that beat the Sox career-wise. I mean, Lance Lynn's not a bad player to add to the mix.
But what we're making like Lance Lynn is terrible. Lance Lynn's not
He's
bad.
okay.
He's got Lance Lynn.
There's no pitching out there.
Lance Lynn is going to be basically going to be the long man, and he's going to be a spot starter when they have doubleheaders, and the Yankees have a few doubleheaders. He's going to assume the Adam Warren role, and Adam Warren was not handling his role very well. He was getting toasted every time he was out there. That's why he's not on the Yankees anymore. I don't think it's a bad move. I mean, Lance Lynn, you can bring him in to start a game. Listen, Lance Lynn last on Friday night pitched a very good game against the Red Sox. He pitched 7 innings and gave up 3 runs in Fenway Park. So for all you guys who want to make a comment about the about Lance Lynn, he pitched well last week against the Red Sox. So listen, last few outings he hasn't been all that good. I would be the first to admit that. I mean, I have him on my fantasy team, and I can tell you he hasn't been real good the last few weeks. But he did look pretty good in his last outing against the Red Sox, and the Yankees are probably watching that. And you know what? Right now, you can put him out there, and I'm not sure that they're not going to take that he may not end up being the number 5 pitcher and Sonny Gray gets shipped off. I mean, that could also happen too. I mean, I don't know. I don't think the Yankees are in on Chris Archer, by the way. I believe that they're out on that.
Seems to be the consensus between these baseball insiders.
I
as well.
think
that
it's gonna
gets
be,
me
I
to the Phillies. They get Asdrubal Cabrera over the weekend.
I like Asdrubal Cabrera. I think that was a really good move.
I would have liked to have seen them get a more defensive-minded shortstop because I don't think they needed to add to their lineup. I think they can score enough runs to win a playoff series and win the East. But they get Cabrera. they miss on Britton, they miss on Machado. So, I mean, Schubert Cabrera, that's their get. Should I be happy with that as a Phillies fan? Should I be ticked off that they didn't do enough as a Phillies fan?
Well, you could be ticked off that they didn't do enough, but you can't be ticked off about Asdrubal Cabrera. Asdrubal Cabrera is having a terrific season. I mean, he really is. I mean, he was playing very well for the Mets. I mean, just because he played for the Mets doesn't mean that he automatically stunk. I mean,
I understand. He had
having
18 home runs. He's hitting 278.
Yeah, no,
he's having a good season.
Listen,
he smoked a double tonight and scored the Phillies' only run.
He's not. He's has no range at shortstop. He's pretty good at second base, but he has no range at shortstop. So, I mean, you're right about him defensively, but
so
I guess in late
Tuesday
late in the
at 4:00 comes by,
mm-hmm.
and that's the only thing that they do. Is that a successful trade?
Here's my issue.
Deadline for the Phillies? I don't think it is.
Why weren't the Phillies taking a look at the guy on the Blue Jays that got traded to the
Osuna?
Astros? Yeah. Why weren't they looking at Osuna?
I don't know. I think that's the team's biggest need is the ninth inning.
I mean,
they have all these bullpen guys that have stepped up and been sick, but I'm a true believer, and you need a ninth inning shutdown guy.
I mean, listen, we don't know after Osuna gets out of court what the verdict's going to be.
Roberto Osuna got traded for Ken Giles and a prospect today. He's now on the Astros.
Yeah, Ken Giles is awful.
His 80-game domestic violence suspension ends Sunday, so he can pitch on Sunday.
If Major League Baseball doesn't extend it.
If he goes to court on Wednesday, as long as that goes through without a hitch, no new information comes up, he'll be able to pitch Sunday, and he will be eligible for the postseason roster, unlike steroid suspensions.
If he goes to court on Wednesday, suppose they throw him in jail.
I guess he won't be pitching on Sunday then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean,
But it's minimal risk. Ken Giles blows.
Ken Giles is horrible.
And I don't know what kind of pitching prospect they gave up, but I never heard of the guy, and I look at prospects pretty closely.
Yeah, that isn't one of their top prospects either. Any comment about the Yankees with getting Britton and
Yeah. Why isn't Zach Britton in a Phillies uniform?
Britton, that was a good pickup, I thought,
perfect.
for the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees gave up basically.
And I don't understand why these AL East teams keep trading with the Yankees within their division. Why would you do that?
Because the Orioles were able to get. Well, let's go to the Blue Jay trade with Happ, because I thought that the Blue Jays really did well with that trade. They picked up they picked up what's his name, the guy they got from the Diamondbacks. I can't even remember his name now. They picked up the guy they got from the Diamondbacks, who was stuck in the minor leagues because Miguel Andujar basically Wally pipped him. And who was the other guy they gave up? I think they gave up a pitcher, a young pitcher. And the trade with Baltimore, they traded. They traded this guy that they got for Beltran.
There are plenty.
I mean,
there are plenty of suitors that the Blue Jays and Orioles could have dealt with to trade those two players, especially with there being no pitchers on the market, than the trade with the evil empire New York Yankees in their division.
But the Yankees gave them.
Why would you do that?
It's like the Yankees gave them decent players. That's why.
It's just the principle of it that makes me sick. It's like when the Eagles traded with the Cowboys that one year on draft day.
Yeah, but
it made me sick to my stomach.
Here's the thing.
Why would you do that?
Especially with the Orioles, though. Okay, you have to look at it this way: the Orioles are going nowhere this year. I don't think they give a crap what the Yankees do. The Orioles are looking at, hey, we got a pretty good pitcher. The Yankees went and I just can't remember who the pitcher was that they traded, but the guy that they got was somebody that the Yankees traded Carlos Beltran for. And he ended up being he's ended up being a pretty decent prospect. You know, I think he's in Double-A now. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head. But they gave up some pretty good players. I mean, the Yankees gave up some decent players to both the Blue Jays and the Orioles to get the guys they got.
Yeah, they're not like the Phillies who just hold on to their prospects and don't bring them up till they're 25. They actually think like winners because they've 27 world championships.
Well, they're trying.
Might be 28 this season.
They're trying to win. They're trying to win. I mean, that's the one thing that you have to give them credit for. They always try. I mean, they may not. It may not be. It may not be perfect, but they're always going to try. I mean, I like J Happ. I like what he did yesterday. I thought he looked very good. I do understand that the Royals lineup yesterday was from hunger, but I mean, I thought he pitched pretty well. He was getting ahead on the count, which is very important.
The Yankees gave up Bill McKinney, a 23-year-old.
Billy McKinney is a player that the Yankees got in the Andrew Miller trade.
He's 23 and still in AAA.
He's a good young player, but he's got nowhere to go.
That means he stinks.
No, he's not going to play because you have Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, if you're 23 in AAA, that means you stink. Brandon Drury goes to the Blue Jays
Brandon
as well.
Drury is the one I was thinking of. Brandon Drury is a pretty good player if he gets a chance to play.
That's nothing.
So basically, but I mean, remember, Happ's 35 years old, and he's on the last year of his contract, and he's going to be a free agent, so it's a pure rental. And Britain, they gave up. I can't remember.
I have it right here.
Okay, who did they
Hold
give
on.
up? And I can tell you who it was about these guys.
I got to read through. I'll let you know in a second. But Chris Archer's on the market.
Chris Archer is a real
I would
good
trade the
pitcher.
whole farm system for Blake Snell. Everyone.
Blake Snell's not going to get
Everyone.
traded.
Why?
Have you seen anywhere
Why?
any rumors? Because Blake
Crawford, Kingery, Sixto, Medina, everyone. Nick Williams, everyone
How
for
about
Blake Snell.
Hoskins? That's who I'd want if I was Tampa.
No, you can't have him.
Well, I wouldn't trade you.
You
I'm not
guys
giving
on
you Blake
fire.
Snell. I don't care. I'm not giving you Blake Snell. Blake Snell. you
Chris
can build your-
Archer.
He's an A.
Are you
Blake
telling
Snell's a
me the
legitimate-
Philadelphia Phillies are going to get outbid on Chris Archer by the San Diego Padres, who look to be the favorites to land him if he's traded?
I'm confused by that. How is San Diego?
Because the Padres are trying. They signed Hosmer to a big deal. They have Will Myers. May Margot didn't follow up his breakout season at all.
No, he's been disappointing. Frankie Cordero.
They have one of the best farm
Frankie
systems.
Cordero got hurt, so and he hasn't come back.
They have
to
one of
play
the
well.
best farm systems in the league.
I guess they want to have a legitimate ace, but my problem with Archer is this. Okay, the last 2 years he really hasn't pitched well. And I'd be a little concerned about him. I know he's reasonably priced, and I think when you have him for 2 or 3 more years, is it 2 or 3? Because I can't remember now. But he's still pretty reasonably priced. I think next year he begins his arbitration. Not this season, but the following season he starts arbitration 1 and then arbitration. So he's got this year plus 2 more years. So basically you'd have him for 2.5 years because he goes salary this year, then next year is arbitration 1, then arbitration 2. So that's all right. So you have 3 years. You have 3 years of him counting this year. But I mean, as far as like the Yankees being involved, they'd want Sheffield, and I would not trade Sheffield for Archer. Archer also came off an injury this year, and as I said, he has not been pitching all that well the last couple of years. I wouldn't trust him in independent race in New York.
To answer my question, if Tuesday 4 o'clock comes around and that's the only thing that the Phillies do, they get no right field bat, they get no ninth inning man. They get Jubal Cabrera to play shortstop, who can't defend. He hits better than Kingery, but he doesn't defend better than Kingery. He might even defend worse, according to
He has good hands, but he
analytics.
has good hands, but he has no range anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
that is
old.
true.
He's old.
So what grade would you give the Phillies for that deadline?
C plus.
Jeez.
C plus. No
Yeah.
Machado, no Archer, no Snell,
C
no
plus.
Britton, no Hamels.
C plus. You
You
got a
get
guy.
Jubal Cabrera.
You got a shortstop who has 18 home runs.
I'd be
Pretty good.
I'd be underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I think you need. I think
Big
you
time
need to-
underwhelmed. I would give him a C.
Okay. Well,
I'll probably go with this. I'll probably go with the C as well.
But like,
Probably a C.
and then you
minus.
see the Braves get Brad Barch from the
Brad Brock.
Brock from the Orioles.
Brad Brock is a real good reliever.
They give up $250,000 in international signing pool money. That's all they gave up.
That's all they gave up for Brock.
That's all they got. Cash considerations. I
Jeez.
mean, come on. Like, let's get
Brad
aggressive.
Brad Brock would have
Because the Phillies and the Braves, they're the same. They're rebuilding teams. They're young teams that are overachieving this year. Then you have the Braves who are saying, yeah, we didn't think we were going to be this good this quick, but we are this good. We're 1.5 games behind the Phillies. Let's go for it. And then you have the Phillies who just seem to be content with having an overrated farm system, in my opinion.
Well,
Who
do you want? I mean, let me ask you this: there is still a possibility tomorrow that the Washington Nationals start selling off some players.
Bryce Harper. I trade everyone for Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Everyone.
That's
Send
a possibility. We've been thinking, in New York, obviously, they've had the angle about Bryce Harper, and the conclusion that everybody has about Bryce Harper in New York is that there is no way in hell that the Washington Nationals are ever going to trade him to New York.
Why?
Because they're afraid. Because first of all, Bryce Harper grew up a Yankee fan. Number two, he has made comments in the past that he would like to sign with the Yankees. They're afraid Washington wants to re-sign him. They're afraid if he goes to New York, they will never get a chance to re-sign him because the Yankees will sign him before he becomes a free agent.
Bryce Harper's leaving.
They think they can re-sign him.
I guarantee you Bryce Harper's not on the Nationals next.
Rob, I'm just telling you what they think.
There's a better chance that LeBron tells the Lakers to go pound sand and goes back to Cleveland
I'm just telling
than
you,
there is Bryce Harper play another game in Washington, D.C.
The reports I have heard coming out of Washington is that they will not trade him to the Yankees because they're afraid they'll never get a shot. Now, trading him to the Phillies, they may not be as worried about him signing with the Phillies as they would signing with the Yankees. Would they trade him to a division opponent? You know what? If I'm the Nationals, I trade him to whoever is giving me the best offer. I don't give a rat's ass if it's in your division or not in your division. And that's basically how it goes there. I think Robert Mazzi just came in and Bob, I agree with you about the Nationals trading Gio Gonzalez. That could Gio Gonzalez would work out.
For him.
Yeah, Gio Gonzalez would work out. He's a real good left-handed pitcher. He's still good in the National League. Not as good this year as he was last year.
He'd
but
fit on the Phillies as well.
Yeah, he fit in with a lot of teams. He's a solid pitcher. I mean, I like him.
Now the rumor.
Now the Bryce Harper haters are out here. I'm not a Bryce Harper fan at all. Yada 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 yada. We don't. Harper is very Robert Mazzi. Harper is very good, not great. I agree with you, Bob. I think at this point, Harper's having a rough year, but if he was in the right stadium, I think he could be great again. I would not mind at all if he signed with the Yankees as a free agent, but I would not be trading prospects for him.
No, he's going to go to a huge market where he can. I think the Braves are the sleeper to sign Bryce Harper in the offseason. But
wow, that would be
now getting to right field.
That'd be aggressive for them.
Now getting to right field for the Phillies.
Well, Adam Jones doesn't want to go.
Well, Adam Jones. Apparently, they had a deal in place for Adam Jones, and he's a 10-5 guy, so he can reject any trade.
He doesn't want to.
He said he doesn't want to play anywhere but Baltimore. He wants to
to
finish the season in Baltimore, and maybe he'll revisit at the winter meetings or something like that.
I think Adam Jones
Fine.
is going to stay with Baltimore. To be honest with you, I think he's going to re-sign with Baltimore. He's got a young family, and he's got a lot of charitable.
He likes it there, which is fine.
He
can do that. Now it seems that the rumors have shifted.
But you need to move on.
Andrew McCutchen.
Andrew McCutchen would be a very nice pickup. But what are the Giants doing?
Well, I don't know. I just got an alert on my phone that Johnny Cueto needs Tommy John surgery.
Again?
Jeez.
Apparently.
This is twice now for him now.
They're a mess. They said they're not trading Bumgarner, which I don't blame him. He's a top 5 pitcher in the league. But, yeah, an older guy like McCutchen, they could move on from that. Because, they're still in the playoff
What kind
race.
of year is McCutchen having this year?
He's doing well.
Okay, well,
he's doing well.
Let's
I think
look it
he's I think he's an upgrade over Nick Williams, 2018. He has a 253 batting average, 10 home runs, 43 RBIs, 348 OBP. He's having an okay season.
It's an okay season.
It's an okay season.
That's not great. God, you don't think the Phillies could do better? Yeah, I think they could do better.
Who? All the guys are better. Adam Jones don't want to come here. Moustakas wasn't a fit. Britton.
What about the Cardinals? Are they going to move anybody, or are they going to go?
Well, the Cardinals are apparently in on Archer.
Okay, so then they're still.
And they've been playing a lot better since Matheny got canned.
Yeah, they have.
Ozuna's starting to hit finally. They don't have Jose Martinez in the lineup every night, just booting every ball that gets hit to him. So they're playing better. They're still in the mix for the playoffs. I don't think that they're going to be selling. If they could get Chris Archer, that could vault them up.
Okay, here's one for you, and this is only if Texas keeps a lot of the money. Okay, so understand where I'm coming from. Okay, what about Chin-Soo Choo?
He's having a spectacular season.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Texas would get rid of him in a heartbeat.
Probably. They're not very good.
If you work out something with them where they keep the money and you give them a good prospect, but they have to pay most of his contract, because I know he signed for this year or next year, but it's like $20 million a year.
He got a lot of money to come over from Cleveland. He got a lot of money to go there from Cleveland.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if Texas trades him to the Phillies and Texas pays the majority of the contract, okay, but you have to give him a good prospect, would that be a guy you?
Yes.
Want? Okay.
I want to go for it. I want to be a winner.
Do you think he fits?
I want to be playing in October. I want to win a playoff series.
I think
there's no reason. The National League isn't that good.
No, I've been saying it all year.
The Dodgers with Machado, they're about to get caught by the Rockies. The Diamondbacks and the Dodgers are about to get caught by the Rockies, who've been red hot for about a month and a half now.
Yeah, the Rockies.
The Dodgers aren't even a lock to make the playoffs. No one in the National League is a lock to make the playoffs. You can seize an opportunity and be in the NLCS with all these young bulls that the Phillies got. And get valuable playoff experience.
I agree with you about
and then you
that.
can spend money in the winter and really put yourself over the top. But they want to just be rigid and stubborn and stick to their plan and bank on all these prospects. Prospects don't do anything. I don't care if the Lakewood Blue Claws win the high A-ball championship. I don't care. Nobody does. I don't care that Double-A Reading is going to win the Double-A championship. I don't care. Nobody does. The only thing that matters is MLB, the Philadelphia Phillies. They play in South Philly. And I don't get that this management group realizes what a great opportunity it has to win right now.
I agree.
And they're not seizing opportunities.
Rob, I want to give you Shin-Choo Choo's numbers this year.
They're ridiculous.
Okay? He has 18 home runs, 47 RBIs. He is batting .278. He has a .392 on-base percentage.
Unbelievable on-base percentage.
I mean, .869 OPS.
What's his OPS? 869?
869. Okay? I mean, this guy is doing it all. And you know what? He's signed through 2020. Again, I know the money. It's a lot of money.
I don't care about the money. I don't care about the money. This team spends no money.
That is a guy.
It's the 5th biggest market. I don't care about the money. It's not my money.
Yeah,
it's Comcast money.
That's a guy they need to look at. Because you know what? That's a guy who would fit in like a glove on this team. That guy's a right fielder, and he can hit the hell out of the ball. And he's having a great year this year. There's your guy right there.
We just gotta think like winners. Philadelphia, they want to boast that they're the city of champions, and they don't want to back it up.
Look, their GM.
And I'm calling them on their shit.
Their GM just has to go out and do the things he needs to do. He has got. Listen, Brian Cashman. If you take a look at some of the moves he's made, okay, he's tried to help the team for now, and then he's going out and he's doing his housekeeping to go replenish the minor league system. He trades Chase and Shreve for international bonus money. Okay, and then they sign a stud left-handed young kid, 16-year-old kid from Cuba. Okay, then he trades Adam Warren, gets more international bonus money because they want to get a shortstop from the DR. Okay, I mean these are things that he's doing. He's trying to replenish his minor.
So
leagues.
He's actually doing his job as a GM and looking at now and later.
Exactly.
You can do both simultaneously,
he is
Clintac.
doing- he
It's
is
not
doing-
that crazy of an idea.
He is doing everything he can. He's traded some prospects. Now he's going and he's getting some 16-year-olds because he understands that the prospects. Dylan Tate, by the way, is the guy that they traded to
That's
the.
right. Now that you say that,
Okay,
yes.
Dylan Tate is the one they traded to Baltimore. He's a right-handed pitcher, but Dylan Tate's 25 now, and he's in Double-A.
He hasn't sniffed. That means he
hasn't
stinks.
sniffed.
That means he
He
stinks.
hasn't
Like,
sniffed the
hello.
big league. Yeah, he has to sniff the big leagues.
Hello.
But okay, but in any event, but this is the kind of stuff that Clintac should be doing. It's about everything. You want to try to get some young players and get some veterans. He brings in Lance Lynn. Okay, Tyler Austin just didn't fit in the plans. Oh, that's got a chance to go. No, I guess it doesn't.
No.
Okay. In any event, Tyler Austin goes to the Twins for Lance Lynn. I hate to see Tyler Austin go. Big right-handed hitter. But the problem with him is he struck out too much. And his other problem is that Greg Bird, now that he's getting a chance to play, is hitting the ball again. So Tyler Austin's career is not in New York.
All right.
So, I mean, but this is what you need to do.
We
You need to be aggressive.
We got to take a break. Switching over to YouTube exclusively. We're going to talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame, Twitter, all kinds of stuff on the other side, exclusively on YouTube.
And Bob Mazzy, I do not think Wheeler will be traded.
Fine, great. Just another mistake in the Mets organization. It's so bad. But we'll be back right after this, A2D Radio.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
A2D Radio, Sports Hounds, with you till 10 o'clock. Brought to you by BMW Atlantic City, Gibson Meyer LLC. Certified accountants, GibsonMeyerLLC.com. Brad, Hall of Fame. The Phillies are 1-1.
Carlos Santana is a statue at first base.
That's a pretty...
Get in front of the goddamn ball. What's he playing a whole A for? Oh my God!
I don't know. That was not a good play. They had a base running blunder. 1-1 in the bottom of the seventh. 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh. Aaron Nola is
and
dealing against this Red Sox lineup.
Douchebag Mookie Betts up. Excuse me. I mean
Your hatred for the Red
oh,
Sox is in all full swing tonight.
there's
I love it.
It's Gerardo Nunez.
Gerardo.
Gerardo.
He's not good at fielding.
Gerardo. When he was with the Yankees, I used to call him Gerardo because he couldn't catch a ball. He couldn't catch a ball with a net. He's so bad defensively.
My goodness.
That's why the Yankees sent him packing to Minnesota many moons ago. Because he can't catch the ball. He is the original Mr. Stonehands.
All right, we got some trade deadline. SJM 86, not a Harper fan at all. Okay, this is sports. This is not Friendship Club. Bryce Harper can help you win.
Okay.
Whether you trade for him or get him in the offseason.
Okay, Bob, your man Bob wants to know what kind of starting pitching is out there.
Not much. Zach Wheeler, Chris Archer, who I don't think the Phillies are going to get because they're not interested in trading prospects to win now.
What about Zach Wheeler?
I would trade for Zach Wheeler.
Obviously, the Mets don't have a problem trading with the Phillies because they already sent Cabrera over. So the Mets don't. I don't think the Mets care. I think the Mets want to get some young players. Zach Wheeler has been pitching real well.
But it's just funny because Zach Wheeler is a young player.
Well, the Mets, I don't.
They don't have a
really
clue. Maybe you can get Wheeler off of them.
I mean, if
No idea.
If I'm the Mets owner right now, Wilpon,
I'm
not letting any of these guys. I'm not letting these three guys make any trades. I'm going to go out. I'm going to hire a GM in the offseason.
Who knows what he's doing?
Who knows what he's doing, and not let these guys make any trades because these guys don't have a clue.
You fire the guy with cancer, Alderson.
Well, he's
What's his
fine.
name? Is that it? Sandy Alderson,
yeah,
right?
They were gonna fire him at the end of the season, but now he can kind of go out with some dignity because he's got cancer and he's sick and
Yeah, that's really dignified.
But
assembling the worst team in baseball and then getting cancer to boot. That sounds fucking awful, Brad.
Yeah, but he's not going to get fired though. He'll probably resign because he's sick and can't.
Yeah, everyone knows what would have happened.
Yeah, he would have been gone by now.
All right, I want to talk about the Hall of Fame, Brad.
Okay.
Because the loaded class went in on Sunday.
6 guys.
6 guys. You're the elder statesman of the group. Maybe you can explain to me why Alan Trammell's in the Hall of Fame.
Alan Trammell was great.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Are you
not
kidding
not
me?
the best manager, but a great player.
Oh, my
say
God.
The least.
He was unbelievable.
I mean, 285 average.
Back then, shortstops didn't hit 285, okay? Most shortstops back then hit like 220, 230. If you take a look at him, he was a dominant player on the Detroit Tigers. They won a World Series in 1985, the year that they started off 35-5. I mean, Alan Trammell was a terrific player.
That's fine. And I was excited. I
was happy to see him
liked
get
this
in.
Hall of Fame class because this was the first Hall of Fame class. I'm 28, maybe of my life where I grew up, knew who everyone was, and saw them be studs.
Wow.
Jack. The only one you could possibly question is Jack Morris. But you know what? Jack Morris, when he was a Minnesota Twin, and he pitched that 10-inning complete game shutout in the World Series, that to me should have cemented his Hall of Fame bid a long time ago. And I'm shocked that it took so long. And again, you want to talk about Alan Trammell? I'm telling you, Alan Trammell was a great player. I mean, and he was, especially against the Yankees.
Okay.
I mean, the guy killed the Yankees.
If Alan Trammell's in the Hall of Fame, I don't want to hear a goddamn soul try and tell me that Jimmy Rollins isn't a Hall of Famer.
Who said Jimmy Rollins is in the Hall of Fame?
He's considered a fringe guy.
He may not get in on the first ballot, but I think
it'll take a couple ballots. I know
Why?
J
I
Roll's
hate this.
J Roll's going to go in the Hall
And
of
you
Fame.
know what? I
but
hate this.
It'll be like
Either you're a
second
Hall
or
of
third
Famer
ballot.
or you're not. It's like, well, this guy's a Hall of Famer, but he doesn't deserve to be in on the first ballot. What the hell's the difference?
Oh, it's a big difference.
Why?
Because the best of the best get in on the first ballot. Okay, it's just a question of earning it on the first
If
ballot.
you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. It's like being wet and dry. Either you're in or you're out.
Okay, but you know that some players in the Hall of Fame are better than other players that are in the Hall of Fame.
Obviously.
Okay, that what I'm saying to you is the great, guys who are considered some of the all-time greats.
They're all-time greats in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, there's the elite of the elite.
Yeah,
only 1% of players that have played in the major leagues are in the Hall of Fame. It's the most exclusive Hall of Fame in professional sports.
I know.
So to me, and then football's the worst because they only let 5 guys in, and then they have a backlog of positions, and then this guy goes ahead of this guy. Like, no, either you're in or you're out.
But you can't give a guy, and I'll just give you an example, okay? You can't give a guy like Jimmy Rollins the same respect you give a guy like Ken Griffey. You just can't. You can't compare
But they're
them.
both Hall of Famers.
Yeah, but Ken Griffey Jr. was a significantly better player than Rollins. I mean, that
I don't disagree with that, but
it's just
they're both Hall of Famers. They're both in that.
But Jimmy Rollins
top
is more,
1%
I
of
agree, but
baseball
he's more,
players.
But he's more in the bubble of the Hall of Fame. Okay, and when I say a bubble guy, like he could go either way. I think he should get in. But again, I don't think he's going to get in on the first shot.
He absolutely should get in.
Just like Tim Brains.
If Alan Trammell's a Hall of Famer, then Jimmy Rollins is a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Alan Trammell's the benchmark.
I have to look at Jimmy.
More
Rollins.
home runs, more stolen bases, won an MVP, won a World Series, won.
Well, Alan Trammell did all
one,
that too,
two, three, 4 Gold Gloves. Alan Trammell won MVP.
I don't know if he won.
When?
He won the World Series
He won the
MVP
World
in '84.
Series.
Okay.
Let's see.
3-time Silver Slugger, 4-time Gold Glove Award, 6-time All-Star. Some of the other achievements. Let's see. I mean, I'm trying to look
But
more.
like if Jack
stats than
Morris
that.
and Alan Trammell are such elite players and deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, why are they waiting until their last year they're on the ballot to get in?
Because they weren't the elite of the elite.
I forget what year it was. There was one year where nobody went in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
2013. It was
Nobody went in.
Nobody went in, and the last time that happened prior to that was 1996.
Which is the way it should be. I have no problem with that.
Because
To me, it's just a little ridiculous. And how many years do you stay on the ballot? You stay on the ballot for.
Yeah, until you don't get enough ballots, until you don't get enough votes.
So I don't understand that. But Vlad goes in. How about Vlad being the first Dominican-born position player to ever be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
And the first Angel to wear their cap into the Hall of Fame.
That's pretty unbelievable. He's the first Dominican-born position player to ever be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I did a couple double takes when I saw that stat.
Yeah.
100% Hall of Famer. Chipper Jones, 100% a Hall of Famer. Jim Thome, 100%. You know he has the most walk-off homers of all time, Jim Thome?
Wow. Here's a little stat for you for Alan Trammell.
Okay.
In 8,288 at-bats, he only struck out 874 times. I mean, he never struck out. He's always put in.
And that's great.
He was a
that's
terrific
fine.
player.
No one will
I
ever
don't
do
have
that
any-
again.
I don't have any. I have no problem with him being in the Hall of Fame. I think he was a hell of a player. I'm shocked Lou Whitaker isn't in the Hall of Fame, to be perfectly honest with you. And that was his keystone combo player over there at second base.
Bob
He was
Brinkman.
real good,
Trammell
too.
was a team leader and consistently good. Okay. You can put him in the Hall of Very Good. There's a lot of guys in that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys that are in the Hall of Very Good that are in the Hall of Fame right now.
My opinion on the Hall
See,
on any Hall of
shortstops-
Fame is
But shortstops
if you have to
in the
debate it, they're
70s
not a Hall of Famer.
Shortstops in the 70s did not hit 28 home runs and did not drive in 105 runs. That just didn't happen to shortstops in the 70s.
Robert Mazia, Jack Morris was clutch. Jack Morris was clutch,
Jack Morris is a real good player.
but it's not the Hall of Clutch. It's the Hall of Fame.
Well, he was a very good player, Jack Morris.
Okay, that's fantastic.
One more.
That's
I believe
awesome.
He won. I believe
Chase
he won
Utley and
2
Ryan Howard are in the Hall of Very Good. They're not Hall of Famers.
Chase Utley might be.
No, he's not. I've
That-
looked at his number. He's not. The only player on that 08 team that's going to get in the Hall of Fame is Rollins. And like I said, if Alan Trammell's a Hall of Famer, then Jimmy Rollins is certainly a Hall of Famer.
I mean, again, it's different eras, but
I mean,
I
Jack
can't
Morris.
I can't argue.
Jack Morris, 254 wins, 186 losses, a 3.9 ERA, basically a 1.3 WHIP.
Now, keep
Had
in mind, with
2,470 strikeouts. This is not a Hall of Fame resume.
Okay, let me explain something to you about Jack Morris. He played in Tiger Stadium, which was basically a launching pad. Tiger Stadium in
But
right field. Tiger Stadium's right
even
field.
now-
the upper deck used to jet out into the upper deck actually hung over the warning track. So if you hit a high fly ball to right field in Tiger Stadium, the old Tiger Stadium, it was a home run. I mean, you would pop it. Tiger Stadium's right field made Fenway Park's left field look like Yellowstone Park. I mean, that's how bad it was. That's how easy.
I'll
it was
give
to hit
Alan
home
Trammell
runs.
credit. He has a better Hall of Fame resume than Jack Morris.
Well, Jack Morris. I like Jack Morris. I always thought very
Okay,
highly
and that's
of him.
fine. But it's not the Hall of Brad Ryer's favorite players.
Oh no.
It's the Hall of Fame.
I-
Okay, but
I think
he has a wins above replacement of 43.9. That's not very good over a 7. Wins above replacement is a rolling statistic.
He also played a little too long too. I mean, he played when he was-
2,478 strikeouts in 3,800, just over 3,800 innings. That's not an elite strikeout numbers.
Yeah, but
A
think about
3.9 even in the
3,800.
steroid era, 3.9 ERA
but
isn't
think
getting
about-
it done.
Think about 3,800 innings. That's a lot of innings.
That's great. And I don't put credence into guys who play past their prime to accumulate counting stats.
Here's a weird
He's
fact.
still
Go ahead, Frank.
Jack Morris is the only pitcher with 2,000 plus strikeouts who did not face a single pitcher in his career.
Say it again.
Jack Morris is the only pitcher with 2,000 plus strikeouts who did not face a single pitcher in his career.
Right, because he came up and pitched in the
All
designated
AL.
hitter era.
I mean, that's interesting. I don't think it belongs on his Hall of Fame resume. That's
I
not a
just
Hall
found
of
it-
Fame
I just
stat.
found
It's
it as
definitely
a-
an interesting
A
stat.
very interesting stat.
But I
And he-
mean,
and he
a
finished out his
3.9.
think
Yeah.
over the years how many pitchers he could have pitched to.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Then
in
he
the
would've had
steroid
easy
era,
strikeouts.
3.9 career ERA isn't anything, and he had a good postseason.
He had a very good postseason.
Chipper Jones, no beef. Jim
No,
Thome,
none.
no beef. Vladimir Guerrero, no beef. I'm missing someone.
Alan Trammell.
Trammell and Morris,
Trevor
that's
Hoffman.
5. Trevor Hoffman,
Hoffman, yeah.
Trevor Hoffman.
that's 5. He was the career. Is he still the career saves
Not
leader?
anymore.
Mo won his.
Rivera got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Mo has it.
Which
yeah.
is a perfect segue to next year's class. Next year you have, it's not as going to be as loaded, but Rivera, Roy Halladay
Those
are
two,
locks.
Those are two
Yeah,
first
definite
ballot Hall
locks.
of
I mean,
Famers.
Roy Halladay, any player who wins the Cy Young in both the American League and the National League,
The man pitched a perfect game in the playoffs.
no hitter in the playoffs.
No,
A
I
no
thought it was
hitter.
a perfect
no,
game.
it was a no-hitter.
Okay, he pitched a
Against the
no hitter in the
Reds.
playoffs.
Yeah.
His first career playoff start.
Yeah, no, that's not even an issue. No, he's the first ballot Hall
Wow.
of Fame. Roy Halladay was
That's
great.
a good.
No,
Wow.
unfortunately, nobody knew who he was in Toronto, but that guy was unbelievable in Toronto.
Yeah.
He was every fifth day, automatic. I don't ever remember. He probably did go on the DL in his career. I never remember him.
He was on the DL a lot in Toronto.
I remember like
Not for the Phillies.
No, in Toronto he was.
maybe the one. I know he didn't do well in his last year in a Phillies uniform. I know he
Yeah,
had
but
some
he was
issues.
he was over the hill. But all
Yeah.
right, he's
So
allowed.
there's two.
You're allowed to have a bad year your last
Right.
year. If you,
Now,
if you
do they?
played so
Let me
long.
ask you this: since you're big on the respect of a first ballot Hall of Famer, are Mariano Rivera and Roy Halladay are they
Absolutely.
worthy of
Yeah.
first ballot
Yes.
Hall of Fame? Okay,
Hands
I
down,
agree.
they're definite locks
Not
in the
even
Hall of Fame.
not even a question.
Robert Mazzia, Joe DiMaggio was not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay, but that's he loves Joe DiMaggio. That was the
Go
stupidity of the
Joe.
right. That was the stupidity of the writers.
Is that your boy? That's your boy Bob?
Yes.
Yankee Bob. Okay.
Yes, that is the stupidity of the writers.
Back
Joe
from
DiMaggio.
Bob's been with us a while. He's back from our call-in days.
Yes. I mean, Joe DiMaggio. You know, I mean, great player.
He owns a record that'll never be broken.
A great player. You know.
No one will ever hit for 56 games in a row.
And
Ever.
and hit more home runs than striking out. Had more strikeouts than home. Had more home runs than strikeouts. Who does that?
So that just
Nobody.
proves my point that your pedestal of first ballot Hall of Famer is just a bunch of bullshit. Either you're a
stop.
Hall of Famer or you're not.
No, that's not. Listen.
Okay. Other players in there for now. I think Todd Helton's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
Career 318 average. He won a lot of Gold Gloves.
Lance Berkman is another one.
Lance Berkman is not a Hall of Famer.
No. Okay. Now,
Not a Hall of Famer.
I want to give you.
Not a Hall
some,
of
And then you have Andy Pettit who failed the drug test.
He's not going to get in.
He's not going to get it.
Failed
I'm
the
gonna give
PED
you,
test.
I'm going to
not
give you
in.
some. I'm going to give you some stats for Roy Halladay. And again, his first few years, he had some injury issues. In his second year in the league, he only made. Let's see. No, I'm sorry. His third year in the league, he only made 19 starts. His fourth year in the league, in 2001, 17 starts. 2004, 21 starts. 2005, 19 starts. So, up until 2009, 2005, he was not reliable to be out there every time. Now, after 2005, starting 2006, from 2006 to 2011, he was over 30 starts each year. But get a load of some of these innings pitched. 239, 260, 246, 250. I mean, he did it all. He had 2,100 strikeouts. This guy was just a superstar pitcher. I mean, he didn't get, as I said, the respect he deserved in the league for a long time. But to pitch in the American League East and have look at some of these ERAs: 3.16, 2.93, 3.25. Had a bad year in 2004. Had a 4.2 ERA. Then 2.45, 3.19, 3.71. 2.78, 2.79, then gets traded to Philly in 2010, 2.44, 2.35, and then the last couple of years he was basically toast. But I mean, this guy was unreal. Won 20 games 3 times, 22-7 with the Blue Jays back in 2003. In 2010 with the Phillies, 21-10. I'm pretty sure he struck out a lot of guys. Let me take a look at
Getting back to
2,100 strikeouts. Guy was a stud. He's first ballot Hall of Famer in my book.
Roy Oswalt also on the ballot for the first time next year.
No.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
No.
Miguel Tejada will be on the ballot
No.
for the first time. He's not a Hall of Famer. He also failed the drug
Despite
test.
the streak he had, no.
No.
He failed the drug test though,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah.
He had a drug
He was
test.
suspended for PED.
Suspended.
He still wasn't a Hall of Famer.
I agree. Then you get
Wasn't good
Polanco,
long
no.
enough. No.
Kevin Youkilis, no.
No.
None of those guys are getting in. Guys who missed. Edgar Martinez, I'll never vote for a DH, career DH. I'm just not going to do it. I don't think
he's
he has.
close, but
I don't think
they're
he
going to
has
vote
the
him
numbers
in.
either.
I think
It's
that-
a bunch
I think,
of bullshit.
I think Edgar
it's-
Martinez deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Why?
Because he was a great hitter.
A great
Listen, if you have,
guy who,
if you have,
who
listen,
definitely
I mean, if you're gonna,
revolutionized
and then if
the
you're gonna
DH.
put Jack Morris in the Hall of Fame, you might as well throw Mike Mussina in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think Mike Mussina was as good as Jack Morris, to be honest with you.
Then you have.
I
Then
think
you have,
Jack Morris in a big game. I would rather have Jack Morris out there than Mike Mussina.
Okay, but Mike Mussina has more wins, a lower ERA, a lower WHIP.
You ask anybody who watched these guys play, okay? Money on the line, life on the line, okay? Die if you lose, win if you stay alive if you win. Who you'd rather have on the mound in a big game? I think most people are going to take Jack Morris. Jack Morris he was one of these guys that just in a big spot was always big. He was a lot like Curt Schilling, Rob. Put him in a big spot, he won every time. That's the mark of a Hall of Famer.
And Curt Schilling is not a Hall of Famer. No.
and then you also have Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds on the ballot as well.
No,
As
cheaters.
despite
Get
the,
out.
Did Roger
out,
Clemens
cheaters.
fail a drug test?
I think he did.
He
I know
did.
I know he tested.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He didn't
But they
fail?
had that. The trainer was trying to nail him for it in Congress. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That whole scandal.
And wasn't he in the Mitchell report as well?
Yeah, I think so. So
If you didn't, this is my philosophy on it. If you never fail the drug test or admitted to cheating, like A-Rod didn't fail a drug test, but he's admitted
No,
to
he shouldn't
cheating
get in
the system.
either.
Alex Rodriguez not a Hall of Famer, but Clemens and Bonds never failed the drug test, never admitted to using them.
but they're cheaters. You know they're cheaters.
How do you know?
Look-
Where's your proof?
Where's my proof?
Where's your proof?
The Mitchell investigation
That's
showed
not-
that Barry Bonds was doing steroids. Look at his head. Baroid had the
This
big.
is all circumstantial evidence, Brad.
Yeah, okay, but I wouldn't vote for him. He's a cheater. Clemens is a cheater.
And
Manny
if Jack
Ramirez-
Morris is in the Hall of Fame, I'll pound the table for Mike Mussina. He has a better resume.
But he wasn't as good a pitcher, and he never won a championship.
How is he not a good at picture?
He was not a big game pitcher the way Jack Morris was.
He
Put him
has
in a big game. He was great in big games, and that's what He won two championships. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. If he didn't win those two championships, he probably wouldn't have been.
But that's
Rob, when you pitch a Game 7, okay, when you pitch a 10-inning shutout in Game 7 of a World Series and win a World Series, that counts a lot towards making the Hall of Fame. That is
didn't he lose that game? Didn't he lose that game to John Smoltz?
No, he did not. He won 1-0 in Game 7 of the 1992 World Series.
But it's the Hall of Fame is an individual recognition, not a team recognition. Jimmy Rollins.
What do you think pitching a 10-inning complete game shutout?
That's
in
an
Game 7 of
all-time
the World
legendary
Series?
performance. But how are you going to say Jack Morris has a better resume for the Hall of Fame than Mike Mussina when Mike Mussina has more wins, less losses, a lower ERA, a lower WHIP? Jack Morris probably has more strikeouts because
Mussina did strike out a lot of guys. I like Mike Mussina. He was an ex-Yankee. I have nothing against him. I just don't think Mike Mussina was a Hall of Famer. And I'm watching the two of them play.
way better WAR. 2,813 strikeouts and 3,500 innings. I don't understand how Mike Mussina is not a Hall of Famer, but Jack Morris is.
Well, I just told you why.
Because he's clutch.
Oh, that
Okay.
matters. That put him over the edge. Listen, Jack Morris was a bubble Hall of Famer, but he is still a Hall. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
F. Deems agrees with you. First ballots are held in higher regard. Either you're Hall of Famer or you're not, in my opinion.
I understand your point. I don't agree with it. I think when a first ballot Hall of Famer has to be a guy that is that's practically a unanimous decision type of guy.
270 wins for Mike Mussina. I mean, I'm going to look at the career.
Jack Morris won 250, I think.
Pulling it up, right? Career leaders and record for wins. Trying to look for the active guy. Because really, no one's even going to.
Probably now, Sabathia. I would bet Sabathia would be right there.
Not a bad trivia question. But
yeah, if you ask me to
but I
guess,
mean,
I'd
who's
guess Sabathia.
touching 300 wins? in the near future.
Maybe Sabathia if he pitches 3 or 4 more years. I have to see.
You
how
know who
many
it
wins.
is? You know who it is? And this would stump everyone on trivia night at the bar. The active leader in wins by 2 over CC Sabathia is Bartolo Colon.
Big sexy.
Okay.
Big sexy.
That I can believe.
245
Yeah.
wins. CC Sabathia is second at 243. Neither of them are going to get the 300.
He has 243.
Neither
He's
of them are even
37
going to
years
get
old.
neither
Cologne, it's
neither
probably
of them
upper
are even
half.
going to get the Mike Mussina's
CC
270. I
CC's
don't understand
got-
why Mike Mussina is not in the Hall of Fame. It's what his going to be his 8th year
because
on
he
the
only
ballot
won,
next year.
He only won 20 games once.
Nobody wins 20 games anymore. Nobody.
Yeah, but back then guys did win 20 games.
Pedro Martinez 219.
Pedro
He's not
Martinez
active.
is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And I agree because he was dominant.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
But I mean, I'm still going down the list here. Justin Verlander's active at 198. He's not going to get the 270.
But he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Justin Verlander will be a
Oh, he's
first.
multiple Cy Youngs.
Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He was just a great. He's a great pitcher. Still is. What is he? 37 years old.
John
now?
Lester's at 171.
No, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's in the Hall of Very Good.
Felix Hernandez 168.
Felix Hernandez was really good, but I don't think he did.
I don't
it
think
long
his
enough.
sample size. I'll have to dive into his numbers
Yeah,
maybe at a later date, but
Not
you know,
long
just
enough.
the eye test doing it right now. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay, we've got some.
Who's the next guy that's going to win?
Okay, F
Get to
teams,
270 wins like Mike Mussina had.
F teams likes.
He's not coming. Cole Hamels 152.
Kershaw. What about Kershaw? F teams likes Kershaw.
Kershaw has 148. I think Kershaw just turned 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's figure that out.
Problem with Kershaw is Kershaw's back is a problem, and I don't
He's
know.
only
how
at 148 though. He needs 100 more wins.
Well, I'm thinking about 300.
Yeah, he
for
just
Kershaw.
turned 30.
I'm just talking about to get to how many Mussina has at 270.
Huh.
He's
I
gonna
mean,
have
he's
a hard time getting there.
148.69.
He needs 7 more seasons. He's got to pitch till he's 37 with that bat to get to 270. But you say that Mike Mussina is not a Hall of Famer.
I mean, I saw him pitch. He was
I'm
very
making the
good.
strongest case I can for Mike Mussina here. Mike Mussina.
I mean, the from what I was looking up, they were actually comparing of like some of the players with Mike Mussina. They were comparing him to Jim Palmer, and even Jim Palmer agrees that Mussina should be in the Hall of Fame.
it's not even like
Yeah.
close in my
It's-
opinion. I don't know what they're looking at.
I think he should be him.
So you think it's
Clean
New
as a
York
whistle.
prejudice? Yeah, he
never been associated with
Steroid era.
the
Yeah.
steroids.
No, terrific.
I mean, you want to
athlete.
talk about pitching in an offensive ballpark? He pitched in Camden Yards and Yankee Stadium.
Yes,
What
he
the
did.
heck is that?
Yes, he did.
These
Well-
are launch pads.
Did he?
David Price has 138.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He's not going to get to 270.
no.
Carlos Zambrano, I didn't even realize he was still active.
He's still playing.
Rick Porcello, his name's
Zambrano?
highlighted. Maybe it's an old list.
Let's.
Oh, Rick
I'll
Porcello.
look
Rick
it up.
Porcello's
Doesn't have that many wins.
29. He only has 131 wins. He's not getting anywhere near 270.
No.
Johnny Cueto just had Tommy John surgery. He's only got 20.
You forget
Gio
him.
Gonzalez has 123. He's 32.
What about Bumgarner? He probably doesn't have that many. either.
Gallardo has 118.
Yeah, he stinks now, though.
He's 32. I hope that these numbers in parentheses are their ages. Yes, they are. Okay. But, you know, I'm at Giovanni Gallardo, who's 32 years old with 118 wins. He's 451st all time. He's not getting anywhere near the 270 that Mike Mussina
Well,
had.
if you look at some of there are some guys that have a lot of wins that aren't in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Tommy John isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Madison Bumgarner's 28. He has 107 wins.
Yeah,
Is
but,
he going to get to 270 wins?
No, but there
No.
are guys who have a lot of wins, like Don Sutton. Is Don Sutton in the Hall of Fame?
Don Sutton.
I don't think Don Sutton's in the Hall of Fame, and I think he has over 300.
But Jack Morris has almost a 4 ERA.
Don
Mike
Sutton is
Mussina
in the
pitched
Hall
in
of
He
the
is in
Fame.
the Hall of Fame?
Yep, 1998.
But
Okay, they
On the
found
fifth
Mike
ballot.
Mussina pitched in the heart of the steroid era in 2 launch pad stadiums and had a 3.68 ERA.
Mike Mussina was really good. I mean, listen, the arguments you're making, you could put him in the Hall of Fame.
But like,
You could.
I mean, Chris Sale is 29. He only has 102 wins. He's not going to get to 270.
Check out also how many innings Mussina threw. He threw a lot of innings. He also won 20 games in his final season, Mussina.
Yep.
Something that no one does these days. So I don't understand why Mike Mussina's in. I think we're in agreement.
He should be.
You know what? He should be in.
Absolutely should be in.
Yeah.
Absolutely should be in. It's a slam dunk.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Bob, Yankee Bob, he says that Mussina suffers because he would never won a World Series. Yeah, he
I
does.
understand that
He
it
does.
bolsters a resume.
Yeah.
Understood.
And he suffers with the Yankee offense. He suffers with the Yankee
But
offense.
Is it Mike Mussina? Is it Mike Mussina's fault that Mariano Rivera blew the save against the Diamondbacks in Game 7 in 2001? Is that Mike Mussina's fault?
Did he pitch that game? Clemens pitched that game.
He did no. Mussina didn't start that game. No.
He
But
started one.
he would have had a World Series if Rivera just
Yeah.
did what he always does and nails it down in the 9th inning in the playoffs.
Yeah, had Rivera just thrown to first base, or had Scott Brocious, when the bunt was bunted to him on one hop, went and turned a double play instead of just panicking and throwing the ball to first. Yeah, I mean, that's how close he was.
Someone asked about Max Scherzer, which I can't believe I went through all those names and didn't mention
33
Max
years
Scherzer.
old.
Oh, you just forgot about him.
How many wins?
155 wins.
155 wins.
And Felix
And
Hernandez.
he's how
went
old?
But it's a
33.
So I skipped
But it's
over.
a lot
He's 33.
It's a lot harder to get wins now because
And
they
he
don't
has
let these guys pitch more than 6 innings.
153 wins, you said?
153. Yep.
So that's 120 away from Mussina's 270.
Yeah.
Now, Max Scherzer is probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's going to be up there. I know
yeah.
him. I know Felix Hernandez is going to be a definite lock once he retires.
So I just don't get it. I don't get why Mike Mussina, because he didn't
Well,
he didn't
because
throw
he
the
didn't win
ball
World Series,
a million miles an hour.
He didn't win the World Series, and I think that hurts
Doesn't
him.
mean anything. Ernie
Yeah,
Banks is in the Hall of Fame. His team lost 100 games his whole career.
But he's a shortstop that hit 500 home runs.
Okay, Mike Mussina has less control over that because he only plays every 5th day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mike Mussina, I'll tell you what, he was also probably one of the best fielding pitchers that you'll ever see. I mean, that guy was a hawk on the mound. I'll tell you another pitcher who never got in that was a real good pitcher, and you could make the argument may have been a Hall of Pitcher, was Jim Cott. I don't know if you heard of him or remember him.
Jim Cott. Yep.
Jim Cott's
The only
another one.
pitcher to face. No, never mind. I screwed that stat up. There was a weird stat line.
Jim
I
Cott
saw.
won 283 games, lost 237.
Kitty Cott.
Lifetime ERA 3.45. Okay, 2,460 strikeouts. 3-time All-Star.
Wait, strikeouts to innings. What's his strikeout to innings ratio?
Hang on, I'm gonna.
So he had 2,400 strikeouts. You just said.
I bet he pitched a lot more innings. Let me look that up real fast for you. Okay, Jimmy Cott in his career.
He had 16 Gold Gloves, 3-time
Yeah,
All-Star.
One of the best fielding pitchers. Probably was the best fielding pitcher of all time. Okay. Lifetime ERA 3.45. Okay. Okay.
IP.
Innings pitched. 4,530 innings pitched. Wow. 4,620
It's
hits.
a lot of innings.
Well,
Yeah.
he did play in 4 separate decades, so
Yep.
that kind of helps.
Only gave up
case.
395 home runs
Yeah.
in 4,000. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Philly's locked in a battle here. It's the top of the 9th. It's 1-1. Looks like they're challenging something.
Okay, Jim Cott averaged.
Oh, he's safe, right?
Should be. Okay, Jim Cott averaged 4.9 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Oh, that's a bad angle.
Can't
Well,
tell.
hopefully the Phillies can get this guy and beat the Red Sox.
Please beat the Red Sox. Look, I can't stand.
I want to
just
move on
can't
from the
stand
Hall of
it
Fame
'cause they're
talk.
so damn
I
lucky.
think I've
It's been
convinced.
pretty
I
heated.
think
It's been
I've
pretty heated.
Oh
I
boy,
liked
it looks like his elbow hit the base at the same time he got tagged. I don't see how he's going to.
Ty
be
goes
out.
the runner. Red Sox are beat.
Yeah, I don't see how. The
So
Red
have
Sox
I
can win that
convinced
argument.
both of you that Mike Mussina should, without a shadow of doubt, be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes. Oh, they called him out. Of course, they called him out.
Well, that's complete horseshit.
That's
But
that's the.
I want to get to these tweets.
That's Red Sox fans again blowing the commissioner and blowing the all the guys in the New York booth.
Well, that's all right.
I mean, he was clearly safe.
Karma will catch up, and the Phillies will win this game.
I
But
hope so.
I want to get to these tweets because Sean Newcomb, Josh Hader makes the All-Star team. He gets pulled from the All-Star game and has to immediately apologize
because 10 years ago he made some
when he was a
stupid tweet.
15-year-old in high school, he made some questionable Facebook or Twitter accounts. Sean Newcomb comes within 1 out of throwing a no-hitter yesterday. Chris Taylor breaks it up with 2 outs in the 9th. After the game, all anyone wants to talk about is how he made
some
borderline
questionable
Facebook,
tweets.
social media
Yeah.
posts when he was in high school, 16, 17 years old. Same thing with Trey Turner.
Ridiculous.
Had a great game yesterday, goes into the clubhouse. All anyone wants to talk about is his Twitter account from 10 years ago. Can we stop with this? Is this not ridiculous?
It is just insanely
It's so
silly.
It's so silly. I mean,
It's
let
silly.
it go. So now, any player that does something good or legendary or makes it big has to just
Throw
answer
it away.
question.
Throw
Doesn't
it away
matter.
because God forbid.
Doesn't matter. You had questionable judgment when you were 16 years old.
All right,
Who
I mean,
doesn't have
look.
questionable judgment when they're 16 years
Yeah,
old?
I mean, we were all, at one point or another, we were all dumb teenagers and made some questionable decisions. Well, in the era of social media, it's
and said,
you got to be careful with that. I mean,
But what kind of loser has the time?
I'm
Sean
surprised.
Newcomb's about to throw a no-hitter. Let me look at his social media post from
And-
10
and
years
usually
ago. That's
Twitter-
not the story. He almost threw a no-hitter.
and usually Twitter gets rid of those old tweets. Like 95% of the I know a while ago
well, can I
that
ask you a question?
Twitter
Why
gets
wouldn't-
rid of a lot of this.
Why wouldn't
that
the
stuff.
agent? Why wouldn't the agents of these guys
say, hey,
scrub their
yeah,
go into the computer and scrub their Twitter accounts and get rid of
They
all
shouldn't
the crap?
have to. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
I know, but
ridiculous.
maybe
The
they should,
politically correctness that people in the spotlight have to live by, or they're absolutely crucified. Crucified.
I mean, F. Deems what I said, what he said when I was 15, even the racial stuff. Listen, bottom line, and F. Deems, you're right. Listen, we all say stupid crap
We all
when we're
say
15
stupid
years
stuff.
old because we're 15 years old and we don't know better. We don't understand what's socially acceptable and what's socially unacceptable. We run our mouths without thinking about what we're saying. Yeah, when you're
it
when you-
happens
yeah,
sometimes.
You know what? You're a kid, and then you grow up.
It's
okay?
just way overboard with the
Yeah, of
this
course it
PC era that we live in.
It's so
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
The
everybody's
story
hurting
is
each
not
other's
Trey
feelings.
Turner, Sean Newcomb, and Josh Hader's Twitter accounts. The
No.
story is, whether you like it or not, is how good they are at baseball and
Yeah.
how they're the next generation of talent coming into the game right now. I think they're all, 23 years old? But no, you want to focus on what happened 15 years ago when they were in high school, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
7 years, whatever it is. However the math works out. Like, I mean, come on. So now guys have to be scared of making it big because they're made fun of because they did something stupid when they were
10
15 years
ago.
old.
Big D. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like, come on, guys. Stop right. Is that Nola still out there or is somebody else pitching
No,
now?
Sir Anthony Dominguez is on the bump.
Uh-oh. Oh, God.
Oh, he's our best bullpen arm. What do you mean,
All right.
What's the 9th inning, Brad?
Yeah, I know. I suppose, what's his name, pitched in the top of the 9th. Mr. The man that looks like he's going through an analectomy every time he
No,
pitches.
too mean. Too mean, Brad. You can't say that in 2018.
I just did. I mean, let's be honest, okay? When Craig Kimbrell's out there and he's looking in at home plate with his arm sticking out, does he not look like he's getting a?
He looks like a caveman.
I mean, no, he looks like he's getting a colonectomy.
Oh, jeez.
You tell me he doesn't. When he's sitting there with his arms
old-
sticking
good
out
old,
and
I don't know
and his
who
eyes
pitched.
squinty and his mouth open.
I don't know who pitched for the Red Sox. I mean,
When? Oh, in the ninth
yeah,
tonight?
after
I would assume the book would say that you throw your closer in the ninth inning since there's not going to be a chance to close the game. But yeah, let's see it. Here we go. He walked the leadoff guy. This game's going to be over.
David Price pitched 8 innings. T. Thornburg pitched 2/3 of an inning.
Oh, I guess Kimbrell didn't pitch then.
So Kimbrell did not pitch. No.
Okay. All right. Now Mitch Moreland steps up there.
Nola goes 8 strong, 105 pitches, 6 strikeouts. Now Dominguez is in.
Is Moreland going to be bunting here?
No, this is the American American
This is the
League
ninth.
Park.
This is the ninth. This is the ninth. This is the bottom of the ninth, though. Do you want to move the winning run to second base? I guess probably not, because
No, Mitch Moreland is
a good
the
hitter.
5 hitter in an American League lineup. He's not
Yes.
going to bunt. That's not how they play.
No, I know. I'm kind of being facetious here. Mitch Moreland can hit a double down the right field line and end the game, so he's definitely not going to be bunting. And Dominguez has to be careful with him because he also has
But,
power to left field.
I mean,
too.
like, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm sort of frustrated because Zach Britton should be pitching for the Phillies right now.
Oh well, I can't help you with that one.
No,
I mean,
nobody can.
the Phillies
Gotta hold the
Phillies
prospects. Gotta hold these prospects.
The Phillies were for whatever reason the Phillies were hesitant to go after him. That's a double play ball. 1,
And
2.
two.
got
There
him.
you go.
Okay, so 2 out, nobody on. That's good pitching. See, it's not always about the strikeout, Rob. Getting a ground ball.
No.
Getting a ground ball is pretty darn important too. Nice play by Cabrera turning that double play.
So what do they
Nice
have?
play by
Cesar.
Kingery.
What do they have? Cesar DHing.
I guess. But that was really a nice play. Well done. I mean, it took a bad hop at the end, and you got to give him some. You got to give Kingery some credit for staying with that ball. So that ball easily could have bounced over his glove. And had that ball bounced over his glove, it would have been first and third, no outs. So I mean, it looks like the Phillies are going to have a chance to go into extra innings with the Red Sox, and this is a big series. This is a big
Why
series.
is there a guy on first? That's wrong, right? The scoreboard there. Top
They have
left.
a runner on. They have a runner on first.
He just
No,
got
they
out.
don't. Yeah, he's out. And there you go. There's the ground ball to Franco, and he throws him out. So it's
All right, so we're in extras.
That's it. So we go into extra innings. Nice job by Dominguez getting
Frankie
the ground
Deems,
balls.
the Twitter CEO, got flagged for eating at Chick-fil-A during Pride Month. You should never have to apologize for eating at Chick-fil-A.
I ate Chick-fil-A tonight.
It's fucking delicious.
Yes.
That one right around the corner here?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
go there all
By
the time
the way, did
before
you
the
see?
show.
Did you see the ice cream place down the street?
No.
If you go down,
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know the streets around here either.
yeah, the main.
Oh, on Kings Highway?
Yeah.
Oh, Cabanas?
Yeah. Oh boy, is that place good.
Cabana was
You ate
a
there?
former
Cabana-
was a former sponsor of us.
Yeah.
A former sponsor.
They're pretty good, but I guess
Early
without
sponsor.
without them paying us money, I can't say how good their ice cream was. But it was pretty
I
good.
haven't had it, but I remember for a while.
I got a large-
At one point, it was I think some of our segments were sponsored by Cabana.
I got a large vanilla sprinkles with chocolate sprinkles. Boy,
Haven't
oh
had
boy,
'em
was
yet.
that good.
So wait, you go to a fancy ice cream place and you get a vanilla ice cream?
Soft serve
Okay.
Soft serve
with
stuff.
chocolate sprinkles,
I'll allow it.
not rainbow sprinkles. Okay.
Now, did you get sprinkles or Jimmy's?
Sprinkles, Jimmy's.
I don't even know what the difference is.
It's the same thing. Jimmy's. They're sprinkles. Those little chocolate brown things. Just don't let me see you walking around with multicolored with those rainbow sprinkles.
Why? That's what I always get.
Oh my God, Rob.
Why? What's wrong with that?
I'm not gonna go there.
Why?
But, because little girls
they're
get
delicious?
Little girls get ice
Rainbow
ice cream with
sprinkles
rainbow
on my ice
sprinkles.
cream makes me a little girl.
Yes, you can't be.
What?
You have to be a man and get chocolate sprinkles.
I don't like chocolate that much.
They're the same thing. They're just different colors. That's all. They're all chocolate, though.
No, I like to have a nice color balance
Oh my God.
in my dessert selection.
What are we gonna do with him, Frank?
I have no idea.
What?
What are we
You're
gonna do?
you're
Talking
you're,
ice cream.
you're a chocolate sprinkles guy over rainbow?
I'm a rainbow sprinkles person.
See?
Oh my God. what are
Rainbow
you
sp-
guys?
Rainbow sprinkles
You
are the
guys.
jimmies to me. They're jimmies to me.
Oh my
Chocolate sprinkles, they're just sprinkles.
God.
Rainbow sprinkles,
All
they're
because
jimmies.
Chick-fil-A wasn't for gay marriage. That's what this has been. Who cares if they want gay
Well, I-
marriage?
well,
if I
I-
want a chicken sandwich, I'm going to have a chicken sandwich. I don't
I
give
think
a crap
I think
about
one of the
politics.
issues was I remember when they did that ridiculous Chick-fil-A appreciation thing that came out of nowhere. Because one of the issues was that one of the charities that Chick-fil-A donates to, apparently it was like a co-sponsor of a very, very messed up bill over in Uganda that kills gay people. Apparently, that's what most of the chutzpah was about.
Ay,
with
ay,
that.
ay.
Okay, but if I want the
But
best chicken sandwich in
I think
town,
they stopped donating to that charity though
You know what?
after that
You know
whole
what?
issue.
I want a chicken sandwich, and I want a chicken sandwich that tastes really good. So you know what? I'm going there. And if it offends people, sorry, but I want a good chicken sandwich. I don't want a crappy chicken sandwich. So
That's a good point.
I mean, Chick-fil-A is good.
I mean, they're better than Wendy's. Sorry, I'm
No,
gonna go.
Chick-fil-A is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes,
They are not the Hall of
Does he-
Very-
does he
they are
go in
not
with
the
Mike
Hall of
Messina,
Very
though?
good.
Huh?
Does Chick-fil-A go in the
I
first
bet
ballot
you
Hall of
Mike
Fame with
Messina.
Mike Messina?
I bet you Mike Messina. Mike Messina probably loves Chick-fil-A. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A. Have you ever met someone who said, "No, I don't want to go to Chick-fil-A"?
I bet Wade
They
Boggs likes
stink."
Chick-fil-A.
Probably.
Well, Wade Boggs ate nothing but chicken.
Perfect fit then.
Yeah, you'd have to ask him if he thinks if it's perfect. Let's see. Diversity is strength.
But seriously, have you ever
Hey,
met?
okay.
Have you ever met somebody that let's go to Chick-fil-A? Nah, I don't really.
Yeah, I don't like.
I don't like
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
And you know
Who
what's
says that?
You know what's even better
Unless
than
if
the
you're
chick-
like on a
You know what's even
either
better
a
than the chicken
vegan or
sandwiches?
on a very strict fast food.
Yeah, you know what's
diet.
even better than the chicken sandwiches? The waffle fries.
Chick-fil-A is
waffles
not
are
fast
amazing.
food. Chick-fil-A is a 5-star gourmet restaurant.
It's a 5-star gourmet chicken sandwich.
It's so good.
Yeah, I agree. That was my dinner tonight. Oh, and
Now
then,
I'm hungry.
and then the ice cream cone for dessert. Absolutely. Rob, getting back to the Phillies. Okay.
Yeah, let's get back to
Let's get
baseball.
back. Let's get
back to baseball.
Back
Woo!
to baseball. Okay. Let's get back to the Phillies for a minute. Okay. You've still got time left with the trade deadline. It's not over. Okay. There are some guys out there that you could still get. Okay. Where do you think the Phillies need to strengthen themselves at this point? Right field?
Right field.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want a lefty or a righty bat? What do you think fits in better with the Phillies right now?
I don't know because they need a ninth inning guy too, but they're all
Okay.
gone.
You sure about that?
Who is there?
What about the guy in the Angels?
Parker?
Yes.
Yeah.
What about the guy in the Reds?
Sure.
He's not bad.
Um,
I'm sure the Reds
very
could be talking to him.
expensive. He's very expensive from what I read, and
Iglesias, isn't that his name?
yes, yeah, he's good. If you can get him, I'm all for it.
Okay, so but I'm just saying there are guys out there that are gettable. Okay.
If all they get is a Drupal Cabrera at the trade deadline,
I don't
it's
think
going to be a
that's-
very sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, that's not enough.
I don't
they
think
need
that's
to-
enough.
I think they need to go out and get a little bit more help. I mean, the National League really, other than the Dodgers, really, and the Dodgers.
The
still, for
Dodgers
some
might
reason,
not even make the playoffs.
Nah, I think they will. I mean, they're just
It's
But
by
then
no
again, you know-
means. It's by no means a lock.
no. I mean, what's crazy is that you can't even. This season is so weird because you can't really go by who necessarily has the most talent because the teams with the most
Hasn't
talent
been that kind of
aren't-
year.
Yeah, no, it just hasn't been because in the National League, it seems like the teams with the most talent aren't necessarily the teams that are winning.
But you look at the West. It's the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, and the Rockies, all within 2 games of each other.
And how about the Rockies? I mean, the Rockies have really come back.
It's my pick.
Yeah, the
in
Rockies
the National
were.
League. I picked them to go to the World Series.
Let's
at
be
the beginning
honest.
Of the year.
Okay, before the All-Star break, the Rockies were on the precipice of falling out of the race, and all of a sudden
Not
they've just
anymore.
been-
They're right
they're
into
rolling. They're rolling.
John Gray's pitching well.
They destroyed the Oakland
Herman
A's
Marquez.
this past weekend. They destroyed Oakland.
Yes, they did.
I mean, and Oakland had been red hot.
Oakland got swept by the Rockies. They're still 6-4 in their last 10. I mean,
But that just goes to show how
the
well
Astros,
the Rockies are playing.
I mean, they have Ozuna now. We'll see what happens. But the Astros, I mean,
They lost 4 straight now.
they'll play Seattle tonight with Cole on the bump. So we'll see if they can.
I mean,
Get it straight.
You know what's funny? And I heard this on the
What
radio.
if
and I
Oakland
had,
wins the West?
Oh, that
They're
would
6
be-
out. They're 6 behind the Astros. What if Oakland wins the West? And it's the
Is that
Yankees.
is that even possible?
They're 6 back. There's 2 months left. Yes, it's possible.
I just don't see how Oakland is bet. How can Oakland possibly beat out Houston?
But
though?
you said 3 weeks ago that they wouldn't even catch Seattle and be a wild card.
Well, they're still not behind. They still haven't caught Seattle
Well, they went from they're 1.5 back of Seattle,
I
and
know they are.
Seattle's a sinking ship.
yet. Seattle has not been playing well. I will give you that.
They're grasping at straws, trading for average bullpen guys to try and right their ship.
Well, bringing in a guy like Adam Warren is not gonna make their
Not at all.
team better.
No.
Adam Warren was
But-
basically a gasoline torch.
What if the Oakland
the
A's
Yankees.
win the American League West and it's the Yankees against the Astros in the wild card game?
Could be a very short season for the Yankees.
Yankees are going home.
They might, or the Astros are going home.
And I hope Judge comes back because I think having
not
players
having-
like Adam Judge healthy is good for baseball.
not having
but
them.
Risks are
is
tough, man. For
Yeah,
power
I know.
hitters,
I know,
that's tough.
but he only chipped it. Thank
Would that
God.
be something if it's Oakland winning the West and the Yankees and the Astros in the wild card game?
Could be the Red Sox and the Astros. You never know. Yankees get 4 shots at Boston this weekend.
It's true.
I mean, unfortunately, without Judge and without Sanchez,
I mean, putting Judge.
going.
Oh,
going
Gary
against-
Sanchez. I mean,
Yeah, but Gary Sanchez, when he's at the top of his game, is
do you
a
think he
devastating
really
hitter.
strained his groin, or do you think they just put him on the DL to save face?
No, I think he
didn't hustle twice in that.
I know.
What was it,
and
against
that was-
Tampa Bay where they lost that game?
Yes, it was. Listen, he didn't. But
He didn't run after the ball when it got away from him.
He didn't run out.
He
the
didn't run
ground
out the
ball.
final out.
No, he didn't.
If
And
he ran
increased his speed.
75%, he would have been safe.
Here's the thing, Rob. If there's really no injury and they're trying to save face, he'd be back in 10 days. Okay.
Yeah,
They're saying
it's a good
he's not
point.
going to be. They're saying he's not going to be back till the end of August. Okay. They're saying he's coming back after Judge. So if he's coming back after Judge, I gotta believe that he did re-aggravate his injury. You know, and he was afraid to say anything because the thought of going on the disabled list was getting him all upset.
But
So
now
he
they
didn't say
lost the
anything.
game because he was playing
I
hurt
know,
and wasn't hustling.
I know.
Not only does it look bad, optics to outsiders
it's
like me who don't watch
stupidity.
the Yankees every day,
It's stupidity, and I'm sure he learned.
especially as a catcher.
Yeah, I mean, and the Yankees really need him. I mean, you know, when he's at the top of his game, he's a 280 hitter who hits 30 home runs from the catching position. And if you look at the catchers right now in Major League Baseball, it's a sad state of affairs. There are not too many catchers that can hit right now.
Not at all.
You know,
All right, Brad.
other than Molina and
We got the boys coming in, so we got to wrap up.
okay.
What agree to disagree is next.
That is
Special-
correct.
Special Monday edition, agree to disagree. Sports Hounds will be back next week, Monday 8 to 10. See you next week.